A lot of y'all are asking, I see it in the chat. You're like, is this live? Is this the premiere? I know I sometimes like I confuse you guys. You're like, oh, is it a video or is it live? Your girl is doing this full time now and taking the bar exam. So most of these will be live moving forward. My editor and I work really hard for these premieres. So you'll know the difference when you see it. Like when you see the clip starting at first, that's how you can tell if it's a VOD. It will also say premiere. Am I muted on this side? I'm muted on that side. Look at me getting prepared. But I'm really pumped for today's stream, guys. Couple things. I want to see who we have in the building. Say hi to a few of you guys. Going to talk about one of my sponsors, Chalkboard Candle. Of course, my partner in crime, lead attorney, is taking a little hiatus from YouTube, so I'm holding it down as much as possible when it comes to all things Fannie Willis, all things the Trump case. We are starting the Trump case tomorrow in New York, so there is a lot that is happening. And again, I cannot wait to bring my special guest up. She is fantastic, one of the nicest people that I have met on YouTube. So I've been wanting to work with her for quite some time. And like I DM'd her earlier this week and I was just like, hey, I think it's time we do it. So I'm super pumped to bring her up. But firstly, let's say hello to you guys. Who's in the building? The architect. The architect has been wanting to cover this case for like a year and a half. So I am happy that you're in the building. The architect has entered the chat. E. Capone, this is what I'm talking about. Yes, this is live. E. Capone, good to see you. Tyree is in the building. Good to see you, Tyree. He's entered the chat. Alicia, I think that's how you say this. Alicia, you have a beautiful name, Alicia. Good to see you. Welcome. Kat is in the building. Another lady that is on the LawTube side. I'm so excited that you are tuning in for this one. I did a collab with Kat a few months ago on Jonathan Majors. I know she has been on that one. I think last week we saw a verdict. So if you have not seen Kat's coverage on it, I am absolutely hoping that you guys check it out. Shout out to Carol, who has entered the chat. She said, entered the chat. Talking about Kat. All the C's in the K's. Good to see you, Carol. She says this should be good. No, you guys are going to love it. We're going to do a live reaction. So I am so excited to do this with my special guest. I see Nurse Janice in the building as well. And look at Kat. She's already started. She's giving out 5 AV to the 7th Power memberships. If you've received one from Kat, do me a favor, because this is a creator giving you guys a membership. This is a creator that is, receiving memberships on her own channel, and she's giving them out to you guys. If you've received a membership from Kat, do me a huge favor and tell her thank you. I'm in the South for now. We have manners down here. Please tell her thank you. Say thank you, Kat, for the membership. That would be fantastic. I see one of my mods in the building. I haven't seen you in a minute, brother. The International Quiet Storm. He says, now have some manners and thank Kat for the memberships. You read my mind. And then real quick, guys, I usually don't like getting into supers, but I think this is the first time that I've had a super chat right out the gate, 4 minutes in, and a lady is now the stream sponsor, and we haven't even gotten started. Shout out to EC, guys, who's starting us off with a $100 super chat. She says, from the entire chat, we love you. EC, thank you. EC, I think you are very new to my community. I want to thank you for that. I think today's stream is going to be a lot girl power focused. This is really fantastic. I mean, I can't thank you enough, EC. I think ever since you found me, you have left a comment under every single video, have been involved. You've been a community member. You've been on the membership side. I see you in Leads chat all the time. I'm incredibly grateful for such a generous super chat. I mean, to start us off with the ladies this strong, I'm super pumped for this. So I'm going to go ahead and make you the stream sponsor. Talk about Chalkboard Candle for a moment. I might bring my guest up first, though, because we are getting a little bit deep into the content. So why don't I go ahead and make EC the stream sponsor. Thank you, EC. This is super, super dope of you. I can't believe like we're starting off 5 minutes in with a large super chat. So thank you again. And I will bring up my guest in a second because I don't even want to keep you guys waiting anymore. Let's hang in chat about, sorry, I'm just changing the subject. I forget that I do this in the banner so you guys know what we're talking about today, but we're talking about one, Courtney Clenney. Let me go ahead and update the banner. EC, you are the stream sponsor. Thank you so much again. If you guys can do me a favor and type in EC in the chat, that would mean the absolute world to me. It truly would. It truly would. Thank you again, EC. I can't, again, super, super grateful. One thing real quick, guys, if you know, Mother's Day is coming. And I want to talk about one of my sponsors real quick. Shout out to Chalkboard Candle. Okay. They have these lovely candles. These candles are sold with a great cause. They are called Chalkboard Candle because every time you buy a candle from them, half of the proceeds are going to local teachers. This is a Minnesota-based company. These are not like cheap candles. It's not like cheap glass or anything. This is ceramic. So I'm going to go ahead and light one for them. I have a discount code on their website. You buy anything on their website, you get 15% off. So shout out to Chalkboard Candle. This one says that was cute. You guys know Fannie Willis was on the stand and made a little joke. Not even a joke. She mentioned that was cute. I put it on a shirt and then Chalkboard reached out and they're like, can we put that on a candle? I said, let's do it. Then Fannie Willis went and got some merch. I think it's because she saw me in the lead talking about this. So shout out to EC, shout out to Chalkboard Candle. Without further delay, I'm going to go ahead and bring up my guest today. I'm so pumped. Kat was one of the first people that I brought on my channel for a full discussion. That was something legal. Today, I'm super pumped to bring up Chandler Remington.
Hey, AV. Oh my God, I'm so happy to be here. Finally.
That we're finally doing this. I think we've been planning it for a while. And I'm just wicked pumped to have you here. How are you doing?
I'm great. I just took the LSAT, so I'm recovering from that.
Oh my gosh. Guys, can you guys do me a favor? Let's explain what the LSAT is. Chandler, what is the LSAT?
The LSAT is the standardized test that you have to take in order to apply to law school. It is the law school admissions test, the LSAT. And finally, I have taken it for the first time after years and years of wanting to go to law school and delaying my plans. So finally, I'm here and I finally took it, and it was rough, but I got it done. It's an endurance test for sure.
It absolutely is. If you guys could do me a favor and literally type in Chandler in the chat. She just took the LSAT on Friday. That is a big deal. I took it myself to get into law school. It is a pain in the ass test. It's a few hours. When I took it, it was 90 degrees in a hot room with no AC. I will never forget that test, but I am so excited that you took this, Chandler, because it's your path to becoming an attorney, and you're a paralegal now, right?
Yeah, I am. And I'm really looking forward to taking that next step.
Wow. I'm so excited for you. Congratulations on taking it. You get the results in like a month, right?
They say 2 to 3 weeks. So we'll see. And I'm getting all of my application stuff together. I'm trying to get in this fall. So working on it. But I'm really excited. It feels so good.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And you also have a YouTube channel, is that right?
That is correct. So you can find me at Remy Legal. I just put my username right there. Or you can type in Chandler Remington. And I make a lot of content about wicked women and the problems with feminism. And I advocate for women as well. But I just think that we can do better than we're doing. And I don't know if you know this, but I was recently in Miami and we went to Courtney Clenney's condo. And got
Did you really? What was it like?
It was enormous. It was, I believe that she lived on the 22nd floor, and it looks over Biscayne Bay in Miami, and it's a beautiful area, but it was really chilling to be there, just thinking that, that's the area that, that Christian Obumseli was walking around, and these were the things that he was seeing, like at the end of his life. It was very sobering.
Yeah.
And kind of chilling.
I bet. I bet. Guys, we have so much to go over with you, but our plan of attack today, and again, shout out to Chandler for being here on the weekend after the LSAT. I would have wanted to binge watch TV after taking that test, but
Oh, I slept for like a whole day. We went to see Cat Williams the night of, and I was like tripping over my own feet, and I was like, I was so tired. But it was
is
a great
Cat on
show.
tour right now?
Oh yeah, he's doing his Dark Matter tour, and so that was that was my present for finishing the LSAT.
Listen, he's been fortune telling ever since he's been on Shannon Sharp, so I'm sure that was a fun time.
Oh, it was great. And Monique also opened for him, and she was
Wow.
so funny. I loved seeing her. She was hilarious. It was a great show. I was just exhausted, but I slept enough. So thankfully, I'm like getting back to reality now.
Yeah, and today you're collabing with me. Chandler, thank you for being here. Seriously, that is fantastic.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. Yeah. So a few things, guys. What we're going to talk about is firstly, we're going to bring you up to speed with the Courtney Clenney case, right? Because there's a few things that we need to bring you up to speed with. I have a fun timeline to describe this crime. I believe she should be standing trial soon because this crime took place in 2022. Right.
She should. Her trial keeps getting delayed, and I actually cannot find trial information for her.
It's so annoying. Yeah.
It's really difficult to look into, but she's, currently in Miami-Dade Correctional Facility, I believe.
Yep. She's been there for some time. She's been there for some time.
She's not having any fun, I can tell you that.
I bet. So we've got a timeline to show you guys to talk about the crime itself and then look at the timestamps to see how all of this happened. I always love going to this girl's Instagram page so you guys can see that she was an OnlyFans model. She was making a ton of money and she was dating a Black man. His name was Christian Obumseli. They went to high school together, I believe, high school or college. They ended up dating, had a very toxic relationship. This has been all over the media over these past few months. But recently, what has happened is this girl's parents got arrested. So we're going to look at the arrest warrants as well to see why her parents got arrested. Because when Courtney committed this crime, she stabbed her boyfriend. She threw a knife from across the room.
It was self-defense, she claimed, because he had been choking her. And so once she got 10 feet away from him, she still felt threatened. Mm-hmm. And apparently at that point in time, when she threw the knife with her ninja throwing skills, it landed, I think, 3 inches deep at a downward trajectory, which is very reasonable to do.
Yeah. And of course, guys, we're being sarcastic. This girl is like saying this, and here's the best part. She did not get arrested for this crime for 4 months. 4 months, right?
No, she got to go to Hawaii and have a nice little vacation because it's really stressful stabbing somebody. And she got to like unwind and relax. I'm glad for her. She got to kind of decompress, maybe get some spa treatments. She earned it.
Yeah, she earned it. So that happened. And then, the parents, and there's 2 pieces of footage we're going to look at with you guys today as well. We're going to look at the body cam footage from the day that her parents got arrested. And it's not funny, but it's kind of like, her parents were aiding and abetting after their daughter got arrested, right? And has been, she's not at trial yet, but she is awaiting her trial. She's been in jail since, I believe it's August of 22. So she is sitting in jail awaiting this trial. Meanwhile, her parents have access to Christian's laptop and they're trying to break in. So we're going to look at all of that. And we're going to look at the day that those 2 were arrested. There's also new body cam footage from the day of the incident that we're going to show you guys as well. That's about 18 minutes long. So we're going to look at, we're going to look at that together because we can see Courtney in real time. I've showed you guys on this channel the day that she got arrested, or not arrested, but the day that she was interrogated. She found out that he died and asked the detectives for a hug. That was nice. Yeah. So we're going to look at those 2 pieces of footage. But again, Chandler, I want to thank you for being here because, there's one thing about me. When I meet people that are kind, I always want to repay the favor somehow. And I remember starting my YouTube journey, getting to know everybody in the legal space. You were one of the only people that were really nice to me. And I was like, yeah, there's a few, but there's a few people where I'm like, I've got to pay her back somehow, some way. And I always thought that about you. And also another thing we have in common, aside from the legal thing, we've both been co-hosts. So
That's
like,
true.
that's right. I was a co-host on the Lead Attorneys channel, still am. And you were working with Vices, right? You were working with Legal Vices for a while. You guys did the
Yeah.
OJ series.
Yeah, and then ended it like right before
Can
OJ
you
died,
believe that?
which was the timing was impeccable. In fact, I know that Vices he's going to Vegas, and he was actually going to get an interview with OJ Simpson, and that's not going to happen,
Wow.
unfortunately. But yeah, that was really fun to do. I really enjoyed doing that. I really liked, getting to know everybody in LawTube, and then I just decided, you know what, I really want to get serious about law school. So I kind of, took a little pause from YouTube for a second, and now I'm back.
Yeah.
And this is the first stream that I've done in a while, so I couldn't be happier to
I'm happy you're here
on your channel.
You could be here, but you're here. I love it.
Absolutely.
That's good. That's good. All right, guys. So we're going to go ahead and get started. You guys know Chandler. You have met Chandler. Please follow Chandler if any of the mods are hanging around. If you could drop her link in the chat so people could check out her content, that would be fantastic as she's on this law school journey. She's at the beginning. I'm at the end, taking the bar exams.
You're taking the bar. I'm so excited for you.
I am. I've made the decision this week. It was a tough one because for a while I'm like, you know what? I just want to do YouTube. I don't want to take the bar exam. But at the same time, I've taken some time to really, really think about it, to put in all this work, time, and effort. And you will see, I'm sure, in law school, it's a lot. It's a grind, So instead of just having the degree, I'm like, let's go ahead and just make it official, take the exam uninterrupted. And a huge part of the reason why I'm able to do that, guys, is because I learned so much about YouTube from the Lead Attorney. So many people need to take the bar exam without having a job. And it sounds bad, but the reason why is because you need to study 8 hours a day for that test for a month straight, right?
That's what I heard.
Yeah. It's you need to be uninterrupted. I did not take YouTube seriously at first, but when I did, I started to see the benefits of it. And that's because I took the Lead Attorney's course. Guys, some of you hear about this on his side, but I was able to create financial freedom where from my home, I can do this with you guys 2 hours a day and then take the rest of my day to have to myself, right? And that was really because of taking his courses, understanding how to live stream, learning how to monetize this thing, getting sponsorships, learning all about YouTube. And it was a huge help. So if you're interested, link in the description box below. Check it out. Check it out. Let's get into the debauchery of Courtney Clenney. But before I do, I see one other large super chat, and I do want to shout that out. Shout out to High Value Man. No comment, no question. Pure love of the game. I know you guys see a different username, but it's in Russian, and I don't know how to speak Russian. The only word that I know is spasibo, which means thank you. But he is a huge supporter of the Lead Attorney, huge supporter of me. I can't thank him enough. He was a stream sponsor on the last stream. He's in at $100. If you guys could type in HVM right now, he does not have to be here. He does not have to support me the way that he does. But the way that he does it is fantastic. And, again, these are the type of contributions and the people that support. There's some other ones that I want to shout out, but I want to get us into content first. All of you guys, every single penny. Again, this enables us to bring you good content. It enables me to have the time to reach out to a Chandler and do a collab with her, to work with others, So it's really fantastic. And I just thank you guys for being the most awesome community. But also, High Value Man, thank you again. Thank you again. I see another one. You guys are not going to let us get into content today.
Your chat loves you, and they also love super chatting today. I'm love this.
It's amazing. It's amazing. I'm going to go to another one. I'm going to go to one more. High Value Man. Thank you. I can't thank you enough. You know that from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. We talked about it on the last stream, but even with this one, this is giving me the confidence to keep going and to stay on the path and to not give up. So thank you for that one. And with that being said, we're talking about high value men because another person that comes up is no. No says no to the no. No is in the building. I'm back. Good afternoon, AV7. No. Thank you so much. Incredibly generous of you. I think it's a tie. Actually, I'm going to give it to you, EC, High Value Man. All three of you guys are stream sponsors, and we are like not even 20 minutes into content.
This is amazing. I'm really
Thank you guys. Thank you. Like this is super, super nice of you. I'm going to go ahead and add that in. But if you guys could do me a favor and type no in the chat, another pillar of this channel, along with High Value Man and EC Sweetheart, like all three of you guys are supporting this content, you know, and also making sure that you're sponsoring this content as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and update the banner. Stream sponsors, EC, we have HVM, and we have a no. Thank you guys so much. I'm like speechless right now. You've thrown me off a little bit, but I'm just really happy to start us off with this brightness on a Sunday, you know, definitely. Well, that being said, I think what we can do is get right into content and at least brief you guys on this case. I'll give you a few tidbits on what I know. We're going to go through the timeline. And of course, Chandler, feel free to chime in at any point. And just make sure that the audience is like briefed before we go in. So the first thing, yeah. So the first thing, I think we've kind of hinted at what this case is about, who it involves. It's Courtney Clenney. It's an OnlyFans model that killed her boyfriend, Christian Obumseli, in April of 2022. Now, the interesting thing about this case is that she says that it was an act of self-defense. Chandler mentioned that, right? And the way that it happened is we see that they have had a lot of violent like arguments in a span of the 2 to 3 years that they were together. They've had a fight in Vegas that was like, you know, there were like images and videos of that.
And she was charged in that incident as well.
Exactly. So, you know, in a sense, a lot of people talk about like toxic men. I really feel like she is the epitome of a toxic woman.
She is, because when you see the video footage, you have to keep in mind, we weren't in their relationship. We don't know everything that went down between the two of them, but we do have text messages and we do have video. And I have shown, so I did a stream on Courtney Clenney that I asked my audience, you know, look at this video for, I think it was the elevator footage. Tell me, do you think that, you know, there's equal aggression? Is she being the aggressor? Everybody thought that she was the aggressor and that he was very reserved. So everything that I've seen, she is the aggressor. Now, that's not necessarily going to happen in every incident. Maybe there's stuff that he does that we don't see, but she's been very aggressive in all of the video footage that I've witnessed.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And the elevator footage is probably the most prominent that we've seen. But I want to show you guys two things. The first thing is a timeline. I like, whenever we talk about this case, I like to come back to this timeline because it's very, very telling, right? They apparently had an argument when this case went down. And that argument is centered on her being jealous of something that Christian did. He was talking to another woman. And apparently Courtney, an OnlyFans model that made $2 million a year, showing her body to the world, was jealous of her boyfriend, who was also, I believe, an assistant. Was he her assistant?
He actually managed her career, is the thing. He was very comfortable with what she did, to the degree that, you know, he was her manager. He would, you know, contact different, you know, like brands and see, you know, like, would you like to, Courtney, to, you know, be your sponsor, that sort of thing. I mean, he was very comfortable with what she did and actively involved in it.
Wow. That's insane. That's insane. So, what we're looking at, guys, is the telephone call, or at least the timeline of how this crime was committed. Right? It ranges from 4:00 p.m. to 5:04. So within an hour, there's a few things that you need to be aware of. The first thing, Courtney called Christian, and then she goes live on Instagram. I have that live. We're going to look at it, right? I cannot believe that this piece of evidence is still on the internet, but we're going to look at it, right?
I actually haven't seen this. I wasn't even aware.
You're going to love it.
I was not aware that there was a live. That's
listen, when I start looking for things, I go down the rabbit hole. And this is what I mean. So when people like EC, High Value Man, and No are sponsoring things, they're sponsoring the research time. They totally are. So we have that Instagram live. I will make sure that you guys see it before we go a little bit deeper into this. So at 4 o'clock, she calls him and then she goes live on Instagram. 4:33, she calls him again after the live has been completed. So you could see that she's been live for about a half hour. He walks in the apartment at 4:33 p.m. At 4:43, she calls her mother. The call lasts for just about 6 minutes. She made a second call to her mother, right? A little bit over 7 minutes. 911 is not called until 4:57, right? Police respond very quickly. They get there within 7 minutes. Now,
Right.
the reason why this timeline is very important is because in the span of the argument, look at what time he gets in the house, 4:33. She calls 911 at 4:57. This timeline is not going to tell you exactly at what moment she threw the knife. But when the knife was thrown, and we show you guys this body cam footage towards the end of this stream, it's going to make sense. I just wanted to start it with showing you this timeline because this seems to be a handy tool. Chandler, what have you heard about like the phone calls and, you know, any reactions based off of the timestamps we're looking at now?
Well, I'm really glad that we have this laid out, AV, because this is crucial in terms of just how little time it took for there to be a fatal altercation. Something that I had become aware of was that there were a number of neighbors who heard the altercation and called the front desk. And there were actually security guards who were posted outside of her front door. And they were standing there as this altercation was occurring. They were standing there for 12 minutes. They knocked on the door. They got no response.
Wow.
And so there was that 12-minute span. If they had forced the lock, they might have prevented his death. And so this is why his parents are suing the condominium complex. Which I know that you have covered.
There's two separate actions right now. You have the criminal action, which is against Courtney herself, right? And then you have, just like Chandler mentioned, there's a second legal action where Christian's parents and his family members are actually suing the condo association for, you know, this kind of happened on their watch in a sense, you know? So that's a separate legal action on the civil side. So
it takes so little time for them to be this fatal incident. And they had fought. My understanding is that the police were called on a weekly basis every single week in the entire span of the time that they lived there, so much that they were going to get evicted. And Courtney goes to them and she says, "Oh, no, don't worry about it. I was just diagnosed with the personality disorder."
Oh,
and so
Jesus. I did not know that part.
Oh, yeah. No, she's like, "I was diagnosed with a personality disorder and don't evict us because it's going to kick in about a month, this medication that I was prescribed. And then there won't be any more fighting and then we can stay." Right. And they're like, "Okay, that's fine." No, this really happened. This is they were going to be kicked out of the condo complex as part of the lawsuit.
And here's the thing, guys. Here's the moral of the story. This is what men were watching on the internet. This crazy girl. This OnlyFans girl. I mean, yeah, it looks wonderful. But listen to what Chandler was just saying. She was a little tapped. So you can look like this and be a little tapped, right? This is her Instagram page, guys. And here's what I'll say. Obviously, she's, you know, beauty in the eye of the beholder, right? She's built. She's worked very hard. She was a fitness model for many years, those type of things. She made $2 million on OnlyFans. So, you know, of course, people liked what they saw. But behind this, she was seeing somebody. She was dating somebody. And he happened to be managing her career. And she threw a knife at him, right? What I want to show you guys is this. These are her reels. If you go to her reel, this very last one took place on the day of the murder. I'm just going to show you guys the first few seconds of it. It is eerie. Chandler, buckle up. It is eerie. But like, you know, I've showed this to my audience before. So for those of you guys that have seen it, apologies. But I just want you to see the demeanor, because this is the Instagram reel that was or not the story. What do we call these things? The live.
The live, yeah.
That took place at 4 o'clock that very same day. Hopefully the audio's working. Oh wait, I gotta click this button. There she is. Missing
Can
nails.
you hear me now? Okay, guys, ask me a question. And then if you want me to go on live, I lost all my nails. I started getting Gel X. I was going to say, ask me a question for OF later. So do that. But, or like on my last post, because I'm not going to see it like on here. So just like, if you have a question for me, go post it on my last post, because I'm going to do an OF live later. Anyway, what I was saying was my nails, bruh, what the fuck? Okay. Let me tell you a little story. So my one of my middle fingers is this one. This one got like fully ripped off. So this nail got fully ripped off. It hurts. It still hurts like when I tap it like this. It still hurts so bad. But I found out about something called Gel X. So it's an acrylic nails that I've been getting since I was like 15.
Put a 1 in the chat if you think she's sober. Put a 2 in the chat if you're like, hell no, AV, she is not sober.
Painting your nails. Not sober? Like, seriously? Painting like a glue on it. It's basically like a press-on nail, but way more expensive. But it's better for your nails. So I've been doing that for like 2 months, and my nail has been growing back. Thank goodness. I was literally looking up like nail transplants, guys. Oh, thank goodness.
Like for real, looking at nail transplants.
I'm so relieved. I was so worried for a second.
I was like, if plastic surgery can like make bigger boobs and bigger butts, they can damn sure give me a nail. No? That's actually not a thing. So I actually like freaked out and lost hope for a minute. I was like, damn, I'm not gonna have a nail for the rest of my life.
I can't.
And this is a bitch who gets like long nails. I was very scared. Anyway, so I found out about Gel X. You do this like different kind of like nail extension. Pops off like easy as hell. Very, very easy. But like it's way healthier for your nail. So I'm missing about 3. 1, 2, 3. Yep, 3. But I'm not pissed about it. Do you support the police? I've actually, well, yes, I do. I do.
That's so creepy that she's about to call them.
I think a lot of times they don't do their job.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
For sure. In my experience,
So I'm not going to subject you guys to watching the rest of this debauchery, but I just wanted you to realize what we were looking at, okay? Knowing what type of model we're dealing with, and also knowing that this was filmed 20 minutes before Christian walked back into this apartment. Couple of things. You look at it for effect, right? Because you're also considering, okay, was this person who was not arrested immediately that got to run free for 4 months and go to rehab in Hawaii before she was actually arrested for this crime? And the fact that this video is still on her Instagram is baffling to me. I don't understand it. But I wanted you guys to see what Christian was dealing with. We have many, many images, many, many videos of these two fighting. But I wanted you to see her mindset in the hour that timeline took place. What is your reaction to that, Chandler? Based off of, because this is a raw reaction for you. You haven't seen that Instagram reel, right?
No, I haven't. I mean, with all of the research that I did, I never actually looked at her Instagram because I just wasn't very interested in her content. It's really unsettling how blasé and sort of boring the whole conversation is. I mean, she's talking. This is somebody who's, these are the last moments before she's a murderer.
Yeah.
a killer. And she's talking about her nails, you know, talking about like the rest of her life when, you know, the rest of her boyfriend's life is ticking away, you know, when he's on his way back home. It's just really creepy. She creeps me out. She's just very, she has this sort of uncanny valley thing about her. It's like the big lashes and the big lips and the big fake boobs and, you know, allegedly. She's just very creepy. So I'm just getting chills over here. I do not like watching her or listening to her voice.
Yeah. Well, we're going to creep you out a little bit more.
I'm in for the ride. I'm buckling up.
and here's the thing, chat, because, you know, a lot of you guys are agreeing. You're like, hey, this video is disturbing. A lot of people are like, yeah, hashtag buckle up. Listen, type it in the chat, type in buckle up, because it's about to get real. What I was going to do is talk a little bit about her parents. But I think what we should do, since we're already in the mood and the vibe of it, I'm going to read a few supers. And I think we should actually go to the body cam footage of when the police responded to the scene. Yes, it is disturbing. So I am going to give you guys that disclaimer right now. If you don't want to see it, you should probably click off. But again, I want to thank our stream sponsors, EC, definitely High Value Man and No. I do want to come to a few of you guys that have left some supers as well. Shout out to the Professional Nomad Podcast. No comment, no question, pure love of the game. Thank you so much, Professional Nomad Podcast. Really, really enjoy you being here. And I think you have a channel as well. So if any of the mods can share his channel, that would be fantastic. Going to Young Black Economist, $10 super. Thank you so much. She says, AV, from one Black girl trying to make it in the professional academic world to another, you inspire me, maybe even more. The lead, I gotta say, thank you. Listen, that's amazing. If you're doing your thing in the academic space, keep going. Chandler and I have, you know, Chandler's at the beginning, I'm at the end, but it's one of those things where, you know, you've got some people, you've got some folks that have been through the process, and it's super, super important to stick with it. Like, we all support each other in this effort.
Absolutely. Hey, you inspire me. I mean, you're taking the bar, you know, I see a vision of my future. I love that you're doing that.
Yeah. And exactly. And listen, like, I have law school outlines for days. Like, if you ever need tips or anything, like, please, that would always a call away. Like, I remember my first year of law school being super, super, overwhelmed, to say the very least, stressed out. And then eventually, I think the second or third year, you start to get used to it. But the first year I was like, what? But you're a paralegal, so I think a lot of this stuff is going to come easy to you.
It might be a little bit easier. I've had sort of, you know, a review, basically the whole paralegal program that you do. It's kind of like, it gives you an overview of most of your first year law school subjects, but in a very abbreviated, sort of pragmatic way that's tailored to what your role is going to be in that capacity, like, you know, helping an attorney. Yeah. So it'll be different, but I still have my notes. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, it should be. I'm gonna have a lot of support. I have, you know, a lot of people in the LawTube community who have offered to support me, which is really great. Yourself included. Thank you.
Exactly. Shout out to Pussycat Talk Podcast, who became a member. I think I know who this is. Shout out to Tamara. She also has a YouTube channel. I believe she is a PhD and is highly intelligent. She has been coming up on the lead attorneys chat when we've been talking about the Fannie Willis and Nathan Wade debacle. Super, you know, thoughtful commentator. She has a great content, and I think she's growing. I think she's right around like 1,000 subs around this time. So she's growing up there. But, like, you know, if anybody is willing to check out her content too, I would also recommend it. Mods that are around, if you could drop her link, that'd be fantastic. Shout out to Dream Wreck AC with $25, and he has the emoji that's a salute. Salute to you, Dream Wreck. I hope you're having a good day. Happy Sunday. Thank you so much for supporting the stream. Shout out to Dianara, one of my faves. Good to see you. It's a super sticker. I can't see what the image is, but I'm sure it's a good one. Thank you so much. And then going back to Pussycat Podcast, she says, she had no remorse, also celebrating his death, vacationing as if nothing happened. To me, she acts like a girl in the Jonathan Majors case, #narcissist. You know, that's the thing. Like if you're a victim of some things, that's one thing. It's not to say that we haven't seen some of their arguments, and you can't see the toxicity on both sides. But Chandler started this very well by saying you can see physically who the aggressor is. You know, Courtney is not afraid to throw hands at this guy at all. You know, and she was very comfortable with doing that. I think at one point she had stabbed him in the leg, and
she did, and she slashed his face as well. He went to the hospital to get stitches, and she said, "Have fun," you know, at the hospital. She texted him that.
Oh my God, this girl's so crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I can't believe she said that. Tamara, thank you so much for the super chat. Really appreciate it. But yeah, this is a crazy one. Narcissism is real, but I think most importantly, and one of the things that's important for me to shed some light on this particular case is that men can be victims of abuse as well. We don't talk about that a lot. You know, we don't talk about how, you know, some of these women are super beautiful and, you know, we can get enamored with the way that they look, but they might be a wolf in sheep's clothing. And I think that Courtney is a prime example of a wolf that no one knew was there, you know?
Well, she got away with her behavior for such a long time.
Yeah, and the parents continue to enable it. We're gonna
100%.
Yeah, definitely. Shout out to Niche Down for What, who became a new number. Welcome, Niche Down. Welcome to the community. You're gonna love it here. I'm super excited for you to be a part of it. But I think I am all caught up on super. So with that being said, and Brian starts us with a good question. He says, yet he stayed with that crazy woman.
Yeah. He did.
He did. He chose to. And, you know, unfortunately, he's no longer here to tell the tale about his experience with the crazy woman, which is really sad. It's really sad.
If I can add just a little bit about that.
Mm-hmm.
There are not a lot of resources for men who are in relationships with violent women. And abuse can be bilateral. It's possible that Christian, you know, was abusive to Courtney as well. We weren't in the relationship. We don't know. And I'm not making excuses for anybody. Unfortunately, he's not alive. He's not here to tell us what really happened. And because he is a victim, we have to recognize that it can be deadly at times, the lack of resources for men, because sometimes men don't even recognize that this is abuse.
Yeah.
It's not put out there. It means that we need to change the way that we talk about this and stop making it such a gendered thing, because men and women abuse almost equally, according to statistics that aren't really shared. So for Christian, he could have gotten more help and better resources, but I don't think he recognized the situation he was in or how fatal it was until it was too late.
Right. And you're spot on with that. And I think that's one reason why when the Jonathan Majors case came out and with, you know, at least a lot of these facts became public in December, you know, even myself, like when I covered the case, I was reading an article, I assumed that Jonathan was running after this woman down the street, when in fact, it was the opposite. This woman was chasing Jonathan down the street. You don't see that every day. But if a man is choosing to run away from a woman, there's a good reason for that. You know, so to your point, we don't talk about these things or shed light on them enough. So, you know, when we were talking about coming together to talk about this particular case, that's why I was so excited to do this with you, Chandler, because, you know, it's not often that you see women talking about the abuse that can happen to men, right? So, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, hey guys, you've got some advocates out here. You've got some legal advocates out here. And it's one of those things where you can't like not talk about one side and not the other. You have to talk about both.
True.
Yeah,
absolutely. We saw it with Johnny Depp and we're seeing it here. And it's sad to have to keep seeing it over and over again, but we need to talk about it. So I'm glad we're talking about it. Thanks for having me on for this case.
Of course. Absolutely. All right, guys, you're going to see some reactions. We are going to look at some body cam footage of Courtney Clenney, and I am just letting you guys know. And hold on, this looks like it's a part of a podcast, so I'm not going to play it. I did pull it. It seems like it is it's a shorter one. I think it's like about 2 minutes long. I'm just trying to make sure I don't get a copyright strike. That's why I'm like, let me make sure I find the right one.
Yeah.
All right. So there's a shorter one where the police are reacting. They're coming to the condo. They're opening the door. We can hear what Courtney's saying. I thought it was 18 minutes. I'm sorry, guys. It's actually about like a minute long. So we're going to look at that. It again, it's a little bloody. So I'm just letting you know what we're about to watch.
Ooh, yeah.
And we're going to go from there. And then we will talk about Courtney's parents for a little bit. But why don't I go ahead and screen share this one? And we'll go from there. Yes, trigger warning. Shout out to the DUI guy. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, DUI guy. And thanks for the help with the trigger warning. That is your warning, guys. Here we go. Body cam footage shows. Perfecto. We're going to make this big. All right, everybody. Here we go. Buckle up.
We're seeing newly released body cam video capturing the moments after Courtney Clenney was placed in handcuffs. The OnlyFans model, accused of stabbing her boyfriend inside their Edgewater apartment, is seen distraught and covered with blood after his death. Take a look.
I know, but you can't. Unfortunately, you can't go in there. You can't go in the apartment.
In the video, Clenney is heard begging officers to see Christian Obumseli and repeatedly ask them about his condition. Police then explained that she cannot go back inside the One Paraiso apartment because it's considered a crime scene. Now, you may remember when the incident happened back in April of 2022, Obumseli was later pronounced dead at the hospital. Clenney remains in jail, charged with second-degree murder. She and her parents were also charged with cyber crimes after police say they broke into Obumseli's laptop. And
So I'm just going to X that for a second, because going back to our timeline, guys, what did we just watch? This is the police responding to the scene. And at the scene, you know, this is Courtney outside. They had to get her off of him, physically restrain her. She was still holding him after she threw the knife. She threw the knife at him, called her mother, and when the police opened the door, she was found holding him, like cradling him. He was still alive at that point, right? What's also important looking at that timeline is she spoke to her mother twice. One was a 6-minute phone call. The other was a 7-minute phone call. So in totality, she had 14 minutes to call for help first. She called her mother first.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing.
His life could have been saved.
Yeah. And we now are talking about 2 examples. The 14-minute phone call is already a big problem. I can't wait till she goes to trial just on that part alone. But to what Chandler had mentioned, also the security that was probably outside at that very same moment. Courtney was on the phone with her mom instead of calling for help. Okay, if it is an accident, the way you say that it is, the first phone call should have been for help. And then, you know, what we just saw, we saw her outside. They have her, you know, on the ground. They have her on her knees. She's still moving. You know, we saw the blood on her forehead. That means that she was like hugging him and doing stuff. You know, if you're trying to help, even if it's CPR or you're trying to stop the bleeding, why blood is on her forehead is also another big indicator on what is really going on here, you know? So as I pulled this like small little bit of footage, because they're releasing all this stuff slowly. They're releasing it slowly as we get to trial. But what were your initial reactions when you saw that footage, Chandler?
Well, I just recall what I read, that there was so much blood in the apartment. I mean, there was blood all over the floors, on the walls, all over the dogs. It's just a very disturbing case. It's really hard to cover this kind of stuff just because of just how deeply disturbing and unsettling it is. But the way that she prioritizes, you know, her needs over his, you know, not like, is he okay? You know, what's going to happen to him? You know, is he breathing? It's like, no, I need to go in there. I need to be in the apartment. It just shows the consistent narcissism that continues to be displayed. I mean, she has no thought for anybody but herself. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's a tough one. That's why this case has been difficult to cover, right? And, you know, she's not a native to Miami, Florida. She's a native to Dallas, Texas. And here's what I want to say. She comes from a good family. Her dad, I believe, was like in investment banking. You guys know I come from that world. So I know that the dad is pretty well off, right? He had taking over her accounts after she went into jail. There was some money that was moved around. What I want to now show you guys is this. We have an arrest warrant for the dad and the mom. They were arrested back in, hang on, this is the wrong thing. They were arrested back in, I think it was end of January, no, February. The arrest warrant was issued at the end of January. Here it is. Issued at the end of January and executed at the beginning of February. So let's take a peek at that really quickly. Here it is. I'm going to zoom in here so we can all follow along. All right. So this is the arrest warrant, and it is for one Kim Dwayne Clenney. This is the father, right? And we know that there's a few things. There's a felony full extradition ordered on the 26th of January, 2024. They live in Florida, but they have to answer to the state of Florida. So they were extradited. I will also say that the bond amount is like $5,000. So it's not a lot of money, but I wanted to show you guys this for a reason. Okay. The judge and the affidavit in support of the arrest warrant, they signed it for a few reasons. There's the dad, Kim Clenney. He's going to be referred to as subject 2. There's the mother, Deborah Clenney, referred to as subject 3. Now, why are they looking at the parents? They're looking at the parents because, and I'm just going to bring us back on the screen for a moment. They're looking at the parents because after Courtney got arrested and is, about to stand trial for this case, there was a laptop in that apartment. The parents got their hands on the laptop. Whose laptop was it? Christian. The plot thickens. The parents had this laptop, didn't say anything to the police about having it. What is on the laptop? Evidence. Evidence is on the laptop. There's a reason why the parents have it. They did not know the password to the laptop. Do you know that while Courtney was in jail, her parents were trying to break into that laptop to get whatever evidence is on there? Her attorneys, Courtney's attorneys, were working back and forth with Courtney's parents to try to get into the laptop to get.
Oh my God. I did not know that. I did not know that the attorneys were.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
So they're implicated in this as well.
Yes. Yeah. And so this is the case I was actually covering before Lead and I took our foot off the gas and went straight to Fanny, because this is debauchery. I can't believe that the attorneys helped out. But, I will say that if you look at the text messages between the father and the attorneys, the attorney is trying to protect himself, at least the male attorney. I forget his name off the top of my head, but I know the female attorney's name is Sabrina. I forget the other guy's name. He looks Hispanic.
Yes, I'm trying to remember his name as well. I can't remember.
Yeah, but it's like,
and he's trying to protect himself. And yet he's not telling the parents, turn this laptop over to the police. This is evidence. Wouldn't that be the first thing that you would do if you were, I don't know, an attorney required to, abide by the law?
Yeah, we work with them. We, even if that is the case, maybe there's evidence that will exonerate your client. If that's the case, then maybe you want the police to take a peek at it, because they're like, the investigators, the investigative body, right? But if there's something that exonerates your client, and if it comes from a police report, that's actually going to hold more weight in court instead of you, working with your clients to find it yourself. You still have to hand it over in discovery.
Well, true. I mean, if it's exculpatory.
Exactly.
It's necessary. I mean, it's a Brady violation if you're the prosecutor, if you're the defense. I mean, it's still, I'm trying to understand. So Are the attorneys implicated in any kind of legal actions? I mean, is there legal action being taken against them for
I
this? Or any
believe
kind of
I
professional
believe it's
complaints?
happening because these text messages between the attorney and the father were released
Wow.
publicly.
I mean, at the very least, reporting them to some kind of professional ethics commission. I don't know what the penalty is for something like that, but it is at the very least frowned upon and very untoward, if not incredibly illegal. I'm shocked. This is a piece of information that is just now news to me. I had not heard this before.
Yeah, and this is why I'm
processing
like,
this.
that's why I'm like, let me pull the arrest warrant so we understand why these parents are being arrested. And at the same time, I wanted to point out that the bond was so low,
Is that
But-
normal? I wonder. I'm curious about that. I mean, is it the type of charge that is the reason the bond is so low? I mean, even though it's connected to a murder investigation, I'm not sure about this.
Yeah, well, here's the other thing. This was written and requested in Florida, and then they were at the time were residing in Texas. So that's also the other thing. Like, I know that jurisdictions work differently, but just off the top of my head, I don't have the answer to that question of why it was so low. It'd be great to have like a criminal defense attorney on here from Florida. I actually know one. It would have been nice to have him on here too for this discussion. But it's just crazy. I just couldn't believe that the attorneys were involved in this.
That's shocking. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not shocking when you realize how corrupt some attorneys can be, but I mean, it is shocking that they were stupid enough to leave a paper trail. I don't have a lot of hope for her defense being very successful if this is the first thing that you learn about them coming up.
Yeah, it's crazy. And just looking at this, I want to look at the counts. So it looks like together, all three of these people. So Courtney's already in jail, her dad, her mom, all together, along with other uncharged individuals, did commit one count of unauthorized access or excessive access to a computer system, electronic device of Christian Obumseli, a Black male with a date of birth. I'm not going to read that, and or his estate, a third-degree felony. That's probably the answer to your question, Chandler, because it's a third-degree felony.
I see. But how did they get the laptop? Because if they're in Texas, I'm trying to understand how it came to be in their possession and if it was legally obtained or not. I presume if there aren't charges of theft that,
Yeah, well, let's see what they say here for probable cause for the arrest.
I'm getting ahead. I'm just thinking of all these questions.
No, this is a great, because the audience is probably thinking the same thing, right? So up here, this is the affidavit that the detective on the case wrote. This is just talking about his background, his experience, and his training. So I'm going to skip over that, guys. But what are the facts that he says? He says he was a lead investigator in the cybercrime documented under this case. The investigation was initiated following a referral by the state attorney's office to the Miami-Dade Police Department. Okay. The underlying case, Christian was killed on April 3rd, 2022, because of a stab wound inflicted upon him by Courtney Clenney in the city of Miami in their apartment. Following the killing, many of his belongings were taken from the apartment by unknown persons and have not been provided to his family, heirs, or estate. After the victim was killed, an investigation was conducted by the city of Miami, resulting in subject one's arrest, so in Courtney's arrest, and charging under Miami-Dade County Court case. They have that case number. We're going to skip that. A search of records show that Courtney has been in jail in custody since August 26, 2022. While her case was proceeding, the city made several attempts to access Courtney's cell phone with no success. The device was locked with a 5-digit passcode. To get her phone contents by other means, the city sought and received 2 warrants. They got an iCloud warrant 1, iCloud warrant 2. So they were able to get into her email account. The city of Miami additionally sought the iCloud accounts of the father and the mother, because messages exchanged with Courtney, known photographs taken of subject 1 by subject 3, and commingling of financial accounts. Oh, this is getting good. So The person writing this, the detective, knows that iCloud is an iCloud-based storage and syncing system linked to Apple devices. By linking individual Apple devices to a particular iCloud account, certain contents of those devices could be automatically synced from the iCloud account to multiple devices. Such content includes documents, photos, notes, and contacts. iCloud could be used to locate lost or missing Apple devices and to remotely destroy data on Apple devices. That's why the detective wanted access to this. It makes a little bit more sense.
I see.
So he's trying to connect the dots between all three of them, right? Where do we leave off? Changes made to the above described resources on iCloud could then be automatically pushed to the owner of the Apple devices. The warrant was signed on February 2nd of 2023. The warrant was served to Apple, so they were able to work with Apple, and it looks like just about 3-4 weeks later, they got download links. The data was made but not reviewed due to technical expertise, the volume of the data, things like that. To address these issues, the state attorney's office learned that through a digital forensics expert who could download and process the data, filter out communications, and provide a simplified reader to digest the data. To achieve this, they would need a new download link. Okay. All right. So then you have warrant 2. And it looks like warrant 2 was also served to Apple on November 3rd of 2023. Okay, so it seems like the warrants took a few months and we're starting to get the content of the warrants. The download links were provided, at which he processed the records into reader format. Regarding subjects 3, so this is a mom, her messages were updated records to warrant 2. And there was a string of text messages that were missing or had been deleted. So the mom deleted some messages.
Not for long. That stuff stays in the cloud. They will find it at some point if they haven't already.
Wow. As a result of this interference, the mother's messages from the iCloud warrant 1 were compiled for comparison. All filtered records were provided to the state's attorney's office. Oh my gosh. So the cyber crimes.
Okay.
And
I'm wondering,
Yep,
do you
go
think
ahead.
do you think at this point that, so wait, how recent is this document? I'm just wondering if they have subpoenaed the attorneys.
This is from January 26th.
Okay.
And then the parents were arrested the following week.
I'm so curious about the attorneys.
I'm sure that they have.
I'm not sure if they're mentioned in here necessarily.
I'm sure that they have,
Yeah.
you know, I'm definitely sure that they have, if not a bar complaint already, because like they've been on Court TV and all these other places defending themselves and defending what they've done. And in those interviews, they have mentioned, we did not encourage the parents to break in. They broke in on their own volition. Oh. So even though like there's text messages saying like you totally did it. You totally did it.
This is incredible. I've never heard of anything like this before.
It's insane. But let's see what the cybercrime investigation yielded.
Mm-hmm.
So an initial review of mom's messages prompted an investigative referral, right? Regarding the willful and knowing unlawful access of a computer. Following the referral, the detective that wrote this received a copy of primary evidence, including the arrest warrant, the iCloud warrant 1, iCloud warrant 2, and the victim's cellular phone extraction. Subject 1's phone extraction revealed a possible password that unlocked Courtney's phone and allowed the extraction. Contained in subject 3's iCloud warrant. So now they have warrants on all 3 of these phones. The warrant on phone 3, this is mom's phone, were backed up messages from her phone. Of pertinence here was a group chat that included here it is, the attorneys. A group chat that included Frank Prato, Sabrina Puglisi, Manuel Riso, Pam Corvlon. Individuals 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all attorneys on Courtney's case.
Oh my God. This is so
you
bad.
Cannot make this up.
Wow.
Subjects 2 and 3 are not clients of individuals. Subjects 2 and 3 are listed as witnesses. Okay, all right, in Courtney's case, and were subject to legal processes and therefore could not be represented. Accordingly, there is no attorney-client privilege contained within these messages.
That's important to note. Yeah.
Yep. Additionally, because these conversations were sought and obtained to enable or aid the commission of a crime, there is no attorney-client privilege to the conversations. Contained within the group chat, ladies and gentlemen, between the iCloud warrant returns were 4,230 messages. For unknown reasons, Mom's iCloud warrant 2 messages began on May 17th, 2023, while the last message in the iCloud was January 19th, before leaving a period of approximately 4 months of messages accounted for. Included in the group chat were various discussions about the victim's laptop and how to access it. The first noted reference to the victim's laptop made by Dad on September 23, 2022 at 8:45 p.m., apparently in response to an earlier conversation about Courtney and discussions with her. Dad wrote, "Forgot to ask if she gave any potential passwords for the laptop." All typographical errors and original. It looks like he had some typos. Individual 1. Yeah.
They're just like, we're copying that directly. Sick, like SIC usually.
Yep. Individual 1 is Frank, the attorney. He says at 9:13, "Yes, Sabrina and I have a list. We will provide."
Oh my God.
Sabrina replied immediately and said, "Thanks." Several days passed with no conversation when subject 2 messages the group on September 26th at 4:25, writing, "Will you be sending the laptop pin ideas so we can try them before you see her again?"
What is wrong with these attorneys? Oh my God. I love that. They're just like, let's leave a paper trail of our, accessory to this crime that is being committed. What is on that laptop? I have to know now. Like, there's got to be something really damning there. I know, because I had heard there were text messages. So there were rumors, like I've seen things on like the Daily Mail, and there were rumors of text messages that he had sent to other people, things that Christian had said that were very damning about Courtney and that were very damning about, the ways that she had treated him. I'm wondering what's on there. What's on there, AB? Don't we? I mean, I have to know now.
You can't make this up.
This is really bad.
This is so bad. It says in an apparent reference to accessing the victim's laptop using guest passwords, Frank replied on the same date at approximately 6:33. He says, "Good evening, guys. I have a couple that I can forward to you tomorrow." Subject 2 says, "Okay, thanks." Several days pass without the other discussions on the matters when subject 2 raises the issue of passwords again in the group. On September 29th at 6:58, subject 2 wrote, "Are there any pins, passwords we can try before you see her tomorrow?" Subject 2 responds, "She didn't have anything for me." This is Dad, I think. Dad or the Sabrina. "Last Friday evening, Frank indicated that there was a list. You may want to ask her again tomorrow." And then Dad responds and says, "I'll ask her tomorrow." And then they say, "Thanks." Okay. Apparently, in response to the multiple inquiries for the password, they started several back-to-back messages in the group chat at 8:23. Individual 1, Frank, sent 6 messages with possible passwords.
Oh my God.
And then wrote, "These were possible. Was not sure about the capitalization or spacing, but these are the ones she could come up with." So they're all like trying to get into this laptop.
Why are they doing this? Why are they leaving a paper trail? I don't know.
You can't make it up, Chandler. Then it says, "I would try all together and mix some of the capitalization to see if we get lucky."
Oh my God.
And then someone says, "Okay, thanks." Then
this is just embarrassing.
This is so bad. Now I know that the PIN is actually a 4-digit number. Letters are not able to be entered. Only numbers, Sabrina. Please ask her for options. So now Sabrina is one of the attorneys that's being visiting Courtney and is asking her for options to get into Christian's laptop.
That was removed from the crime scene.
Yes. This is my favorite part. This is why she should have got arrested day 1. The following day, September 30th, 2023. You guys ready? Buckle up. Hashtag buckle up. Completely out of context for the text messages, Subject 2 wrote, "Hell yeah, that pin worked."
Oh my God. Oh my God. What?
That is why these parents are being arrested. Should I continue, guys? Should I continue? That's all you need.
Oh, I'm
Then they
crying.
start breaking down what the law is in Florida.
Oh my God. This is wild.
Oh, that's all I needed to see. That is all I needed to see. Hell yeah, that pin worked. You broke in.
These are criminal attorneys, not criminal attorneys, criminal attorneys.
Yeah. Individual 4, I forget who that is. They love the message about 3 minutes later. Then Frank started to panic and says, "Kim, hold off on going through the computer, please. I don't want you to turn you into a witness just yet if you find something useful." Frank later said, "But that is great news and makes this easy." E-A-S-I-E. Attorney Frank Prato spelled the word easy as E-A-S-I-E.
Well, he's obviously a smart one. I don't know if anybody, I mean, any paralegal will know this. Typos will make your skin crawl.
Yeah, that just bugged me.
Mhm.
I mean, wow.
Who spells it like, who doesn't know how to spell the word easy? It's not hard. It is literally easy.
Frank Fredo gets a.
Oh my God. Frank, you got to do better. Do better.
You can't make this stuff up, guys.
Oh
So a discussion was then had regarding the custody of the laptop, whether subject 2 should ship the laptop to Frank, and then Frank discussed how the shipment might be possible. So they're now talking about how this laptop is going to be shipped. Remember, it's Christian's laptop. It's not theirs. And then Frank talks about wanting to speak with a computer consultant. He then added that he would be in Dallas the following week and may want to pick up the victim's laptop in an abundance of caution, just in case. At the same time, the police have no knowledge that this laptop exists. Dad acknowledged individual 1 and furthered, when it comes to potential evidence, we always have to consider now he wants to talk about it. When it comes to potential evidence, we always have to consider chain of custody issues and don't necessarily want to take a risk sometimes or take a risk that something gets lost in the mail. But hang tight. We will make a decision by Monday. Dad acknowledges it. And it says also, I'm sure you've guessed by me prior text. We don't want you accessing files because the state attorneys could request their own independent analysis of the hard drive and accuse you of creating or modifying files.
Oh my God.
Now he's trying to cover himself. That's why I wanted you to put a quick pause on that. Obviously, I know you would not do that, but want to remain that credibility.
They're the dream team, obviously.
You cannot make this up. Several days passed without talking about the victim's laptop, and discussions were had. Subject 2, it looks like they're saying, I'd also like to ask for you to have the laptop soon so we can see if there's anything else on it. That's the second implication.
No, so we can see if there's anything of use to us.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Wait a minute. If there's anything of use to us, wouldn't that require? So at a certain point, like, oh, we can use this, and then how are you going to explain that you have withheld this?
Oh my God!
For this entire time, they're geniuses. Oh,
you cannot make this. This is crazy.
I'm trying to help. I want to know how.
I can't. And it says, I'm hoping that Morgan will come with me. All right. So they're talking about it more. They're now talking about how this laptop is going to move from Austin, Texas, back to Miami, because the lawyers are in Miami. So they're going back and forth on that. I'm going to not cover that piece too much. Okay. It looks like these messages then do not discuss the victim's laptop again for several months. Nothing again came up. There are no records from January 19, 2023 until May 17, 2023. The next time the victim's laptop is discussed is on July 8th of 2023. Frank sent a message to the group And he says, good evening, everyone. Mike has, the IT expert, now has possessions of all the electronics we need him to evaluate, clone, and run searches on. I did not have the password for the suspected Obumseli laptop handy. Does anyone have it available? Please send when you can. Oh my God.
This is astonishing. So Larry just walked in the room and he was like, how did they finally get caught? And that's a question that I would also like to know.
Yeah,
because they're just so, this is just blatant. They're doing this out in the open. Nobody seems to have a problem with the legality of that. There's this conspiracy element too, which like, are they going to be charged with conspiracy? This is too much, man.
Yeah. Okay. So let's skip ahead and then we're going to actually watch the day they got arrested. So
I'm looking forward to that. This is funny.
So this is all the setup, guys. I did not plan this like this. Like we're literally, this is a raw reaction from me and Chandler. But
you haven't read this yet.
I have not read it like this in depth. So the detective made contact with an attorney on Friday, January 12th. The attorney is counsel for the victim's estate. Ms. Wald informed the detective that the victim's estate never received the victim's property from anyone, including all of the attorneys and the mom and dad. The attorney further advised that the victim's estate had never given permission to anyone to possess or keep the victim's belongings. Finally, this attorney advised the victim's estate or family has never provided consent or authorization to anyone to access the victim's laptop. So that answers the question there, like how they got caught.
I'm speechless. I don't know what to say.
I think we're just gonna go through a little bit of super chats, and then we're gonna watch. Then we're gonna watch the day that mom and dad got arrested.
Okay, I'm down.
I swear we're not making this up, guys. This is just so bad on all levels. So this is why I was focused on this case before going to the Fanny and Nathan thing. That was the only thing that took my attention away from this debauchery, right? Oh my God. Shout out to the DUI guy who says, hello, beautiful ladies. Love the talk. Keep up the great work, AV7. Thank you so much, DUI guy. I think you're a newer name over here. So it's good to see you on this side. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And thank you so much for the $20 super. Incredibly generous of you. Shout out to, I always call you Howard because I don't want to butcher your name. He sends a $4.99 super sticker. Thank you so much. Shout out to Marie, who sends 5 gifted AV to the 7th Power memberships. If you received a membership from Marie, please tell her thank you. We have manners. We have manners. Please say thank you to her. Marie, thank you. She's been one of my day ones from the very beginning, one of my first subscribers. Huge supporter of me, lead attorney, huge supporter in the LawTube space. Thank you, Marie. It was very nice of you to do that. Shout out to Dianora, who says pretty privilege entitled is a real thing. I mean, like, and that's the other thing. This is why it's such a shame that she was not arrested on that day, because you guys let her go home. Obviously, she's going to have access to all of the things in that apartment. So is it a coincidence that Christian's laptop ended up at their family's home in Austin?
I'm trying to understand, like, they closed it. They should have closed everything off as a crime scene. Obviously, she would have been like, but please, I left my medication, blah, 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 blah. She probably found a way to worm her way in and get her stuff that she needed. I don't understand how she was able to so easily just, spirit away all of this evidence. It should have been a closed crime scene. Like, I mean, she's making $2 million a year. Okay, go buy another Fendi, bra. I'm sorry that you got blood on this one. You can afford to replace the stuff that you left at the apartment. Clearly, this should be closed. She should not have been able to access it.
Yeah,
that is messed up.
And usually with crime scenes, it's taped off, it's closed. They're CSI. They come in, they investigate. They're looking for prints. They're looking for all this stuff. If she's saying it's self-defense, and there's like a bloody apartment, like it literally just looked like a blood bag just went in the apartment. If you guys
look
like
a Tarantino movie, it was horrible.
It looked like the scene of Kill Bill.
Yep,
it really did. It looked like a scene from that movie. Not kidding. And I've showed it once here on this channel, and I think that stream was demonetized. So I'm going to encourage you guys, if you're curious, to Google it, But check it out. I can't believe it. I really cannot believe that this girl was left on the street for 4 months. You know, she could have hurt someone else.
The police bought her explanation that it was self-defense, that she threw a knife from 10 feet away.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So if they're that dumb, I mean, of course she got away with it for that long.
I mean, the shenanigans.
At least she finally got arrested. Thank God for that.
Right, exactly. Shout out to Audrey with the $10 super. Thank you, Audrey. Thank you so much. She is one of my day one's faves as well. And then Captain Jones. Captain Jones is new. $20 says, may I have your streaming schedule, AV, so I don't miss any episodes, please. Yeah, Captain Jones, I'm going to be here every day. Tomorrow is the Trump's trial is starting. So this week, my schedule is going to be based off of that streaming schedule. Usually court runs from like 9, 10 a.m. to, I would say, either midday or the full day. We will see. Number one, I need to see if it's going to be streamed. And number two, I need to see if it's going to be streamed every day. But the trial starts tomorrow. Okay, so you can, if it streams, you can expect to see me here every day from like 9 to 5 this week. Hopefully. Yeah, that's going to be fun. And of course, Chandler, you are super welcome. If you know you've got some spare time, if you want to pop in on any of those days, I think that'd be really fun. Yeah, that
would be really fun. Thank you. Yeah,
of course, of course. So thank you so much, Captain Jones. I hope that answers the questions. If not, I will put something on the community tab. So just make sure that you're tuned in over there, and you'll see any scheduling adjustments on that side. And then lastly, shout out to Real Talk with Retta, who's been a member for 10 months. Thank you, Retta. She is showing her longevity here. She's like, I've been around for a while. She said, how on earth can these people be so stupid? Well, Retta, I'm glad you asked, because now we're going to take a look at the day that Dad and Mom were arrested. It's not funny, but it's a little funny because they did not see this coming at all, guys, like at all. OnlyFans models' parents shocked. Okay. So they were absolutely shocked when this happened. So shocked that, you know, and I guess people really like watching body cam footage.
Oh yeah, people love it.
This video has like, they dropped it like a week ago. It has like 2 million views.
Oh, wow.
So
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, this case is so crazy, but they are literally shocked. Okay. And remember that the arrest warrant was signed in Miami. So you have Florida law enforcement working with Texas law enforcement to apprehend, arrest, and take them back to Florida to answer for their crimes. So this is both Dad and Mom. Let us watch the debauchery. Let's go.
Weapon on you? Yeah. Oh, you got your CHL. So. Oh, yeah. No weapon on you? No. It's okay.
Ms. Clenney? Ben Wright. I'm with Travis County Sheriff's Office. We have a couple of detectives that are up the road. They want to come down here and talk to you and your wife. Is your wife home today?
Yes.
Okay, not a problem. And then they'll kind of explain a little bit about what's going on. I mean, obviously, I think it's related to your daughter's case in Florida, but that's about all we really understand. There are warrants for you and your wife's arrest. I know. I'm going to let them explain that to you real quick, and so we can kind of get behind all that.
Let's go back.
I know. There are warrants for you and your wife's arrest.
What?
I know. I'm going to let them explain that to you.
The shocked peek.
We're going to try to make this as easy on you as possible, right? I mean,
I'm sorry. I mean, Dad was really shocked, but this is also the same person that was like, hell yeah, that worked when he got into Christian's laptop.
That's amazing.
I just can't. And it kind of, the audio kind of cut out. What did you mention, Chandler, when you saw
it? Just it just reminds me, you know, the meme, like the shocked Pikachu face, like, me? I'm getting arrested for that very illegal crime that I committed? What? Are you kidding me? No way.
Yeah.
No way.
Like, it's so crazy. And here's the other thing. This is the nicest arrest I've ever seen in my life. Let me just note that. The nicest arrest I've ever seen.
they have warrants for your arrest. Y'all aren't criminals. We're going to try to work through this as, you know, low key as possible today. They're going to explain that to you. I don't really have all, you know, I don't know enough about the case to understand how this all works together. But they'll be here in a few minutes. And so,
can I call our attorney?
In a
call
moment,
Frank.
if that's what you'd like to do. I understand that. Right. Is your phone in the truck?
Yeah.
Do you want me to go talk to your wife first, or what do you want to do? How do you want to handle that as far as that?
What do you want to do?
Wow.
Okay. If you let me hold on to your phone, I don't want you making any phone calls. We can let you put your truck up. I think that's reasonable. Or actually, I don't have the choice on that. Let me hold off. If it was my case, that's exactly what I'd let you do. Let me let them get here.
What the hell?
I'm not going to talk to the detective.
I think that's fine. I mean, I don't have any. I don't have a dog in that hunt.
I
So
can
I'm not.
imagine why there's a warrant for our arrest. So we get it. We're from Texas. We're from Austin here. This isn't our case. They'll talk with you about it.
That's
I
insanity.
completely understand. And before any questioning about anything pertaining to the case, you'll have your opportunity to speak with whoever you want. Right. Nobody's asking you anything, any specifics right now. Anyway, we're just visiting with you.
Yeah, I'm just trying to let you know that this is what's happening today. And by all means, we'll get your truck put up. We'll get the house locked up. Whatever we need to do in order to kind of.
Deborah's in the house.
in today?
Yes. So I know it's hard to wrap your head around. Just
This is insanity.
yeah.
The whole
I mean,
thing is bullshit.
I don't have a.
Bullshit.
I have an opinion on that.
Wow.
I don't get to have an opinion on that, right?
Understand.
Professionally, they've ran this through the. You know,
What
they have
kind
a
of
legal
pull do these
warrant.
people
for your
have in
arrest.
Texas?
We're helping
Right.
facilitate that because you are here in our jurisdiction, but we were trying to do that as low key as possible. And which point, when they get here, maybe we'll move into the house. We'll do whatever to kind of keep it.
What's in the house?
I don't think there's anything in the house.
That would warrant to search the house?
There is not a warrant to search the house currently.
There's 2 dogs in there.
Oh yeah, no. So
There's the dogs.
I'll let them explain. I don't know enough about the case. I think when they explain it to you, you'll know what they're talking about.
Right.
And then the question of what your involvement in all that is, that I think you're on the right track. So,
Here's also the other thing, guys. They should have done this together with the police officers from Florida. Not just, hey, it's our state. I'm just letting you know what's going on. I'm going to be really nice to you. You're not on the ground. You're not cuffed. Sorry. We're going to wait until the Floridian police officers get here. This is crazy.
I mean, he's like, oh, I'm sure this is bullshit. I'm so sorry, sir. I'm so sorry that we have to do this. We can do this arrest however you like. We can call your wife. We cannot call your wife. We can talk to your wife. Oh, maybe we can't do that. I don't know. Let me check. I mean, what is happening?
Crazy. This is crazy.
anyway, that's just what this is. It's unpleasant. It's unfortunate, but we're just kind of
insanity.
We're at the mercy of that currently. So let's make sure they weren't far. Okay, yeah, they're on their way. We just had them parked a little further away. Yeah,
They're detectives from here?
they are not. They're detectives from Miami. So that's how come their understanding of they have a better understanding of the case than we do. Yeah.
I want you to watch her face.
Oh, she's going to be just as shocked as you are when
Yeah,
they tell
I'm
you.
shocked.
Yes. You want to go down here? We can just sit with her.
Can I pull the car back in?
Let's hold off on that. I will probably let you pull the car in, or I'll get you to give me permission to pull the car back in, whatever that looks like here at the end. But if you want, we can just go sit on the porch. I'm trying to be reasonable, but at the same time, I want to make sure that.
God.
This is insane.
This is bizarre.
There's mom.
I have to cancel the Ashley. I'm supposed to be here in 30 minutes.
Oh,
You're okay, Deborah.
So-
Nobody's
No, I'm not okay.
I know.
Nobody's going to hurt you. I understand. I mean,
I know.
you're physically
This
okay.
whole
You'll get
deal
through
is
this.
fucking bullshit.
We certainly
We have
understand.
nothing to do with the case. I believe me.
She was persecuted by that motherfucker. and
She
she's
still has her
she's getting
phone.
persecuted now. And now we're getting persecuted.
You're going to have your opportunity. She has a court date this week, doesn't she?
Right.
Yeah. So she'll
I love how she could be
believe me,
deleting
we're-
evidence right now.
Yeah, that they have not taken her phone away. Look at that.
She probably, I mean, for all we know, considering what we have seen, she could have been deleting evidence right then, right there. Why are they not taking her phone away?
This is insanity, Chandler.
I have not ever seen anything like this. I've never seen an arrest like this. And I watch a lot of body cam footage.
Yeah.
This is just beyond.
You can't make it up.
No, you cannot. Wow.
Like, she still has her phone. Let's watch to see how long it takes before the phone is not in her hand.
For they're arresting them for cyber crimes and they're letting them have access to their personal devices. What is happening?
This is wild. And sorry, I'm gonna have to agree. Nay says if they were black,
Yeah, I mean,
that is correct, Nay. I mean, or I don't think other defendants get treated like this. I don't care if
No.
it's two states trying to arrest you at the same time. Like, I get that it is a Miami-based jurisdiction.
But still.
Or yeah, this is wild. And then listen to what the dad says. Oh, these mother effers are trying to, what did he say? He said something about they're trying to persecute her.
Oh yeah, and it was
online.
effing bullshit, and that's what they did to her before. And I mean, you can see how she got the way she is. You can see how
Yeah.
she became so entitled because they are so entitled.
Oh my God.
It is a disease, and
It
they
totally
clearly
is.
taught her. I mean, you can tell their attitude towards this is not, oh, she stabbed that poor young man and she needs to serve for it, but oh, she was just defending herself. She got 10 feet away from him and she had to throw the knife.
Yeah. Look at Cryonetta. She's like, they're covering for their daughter. They really
Yeah.
are. They really are. All right.
These are some of the most entitled people I've seen in my life. Let's keep watching.
Exactly.
Parents, we understand.
Well, I'm not talking to a detective guy
You don't-
called Frank.
That's
You're right. You know
completely
that.
Call Frank.
understandable.
Do we
I
need
can't
to tell
imagine
Morgan
why
too?
we would be getting arrested.
So, all right, we'll cross those bridges after you talk
It's
to
like
them.
a 3-ring circus.
I know. I'm sorry for y'all's inconveniences here. It's just-
Wow.
Just hold on to
So
that.
sorry we
We'll
had to
get
arrest
back
you
in.
inconvenience.
Look,
as long
okay,
as y'all
so
stay
she had the
calm,
phone
we
for
don't need to handcuff
like a
anybody,
minute.
anything like that right this
Mhm.
moment. So we'll let this conversation go. But I know that your temper, I understand it. But we'll respect that, right? So right now we don't want to detain anybody with the handcuffs, even though there are felony warrants. We certainly, I know.
What
We
the
don't know
hell?
what we-
They're going to explain it to you.
And you'll have your opportunity to speak with whoever you want.
And then, yeah, absolutely. However that looks, right? I mean,
Okay,
we're just going to go through.
let me ask you this. Will we really, because I don't have our attorney's number memorized.
I'm going to
okay.
call him.
I was going to say, I'm going to get so worst case scenario, I will get a phone number for your attorney. You can give it to me. I'll
May
put
I
it
go
on-
press my
we'll figure all that.
some shoes on?
Just hang on one second.
Let them do their part, and then we'll work.
I
We'll
can't.
facilitate the.
May I go brush my teeth and put some shoes on? No.
No, you may not. And
No.
I'm so sorry for the inconvenience, ma'am. This guy seems almost afraid to arrest these people. What
He
happened?
does. He does. And this is probably why this video has 2 million views.
Yeah, I can see why
Oh.
it went viral.
Yeah.
Second end of this. Gentlemen, this was Mr. Clean
Sir, how you doing?
and his wife.
Detective Perez from Miami-Dade Police. How you doing today? Good. I got you real quick.
Yes, 1 second. I mean, just let him.
Okay, so they do have someone from Miami there.
All right, so he wants to call his attorney. We just said that he'd be afforded that right after he spoke to y'all. If that's what he wanted to do, we've explained to them that there is a warrant for their arrest, and that you guys are the ones that would be able to kind of explain what any of that's about. And so that's both of their phone, his phone's in the truck, and her phone's in her hand. So that should be
Her phone's in her
And her
hand.
phone's in her hand.
okay.
Wow.
He invoked already?
Hmm?
He invoked already?
All he asked is if he could call his attorney, and then my guess is he will if you ask him about it. But that's the conversation you can ask. We told him we're not asking him any questions. He doesn't have to. That's something between y'all that he can discuss. And then of course they have all the, logistics of dogs and all that kind of stuff, which we'll work out after. I told him as long as they stay calm, we won't need to handcuff him. However, he is, upset that this is occurring. He does aware that they are being arrested today. So if he gets rowdy, then we'll go ahead and cuff him up. But I'm not expecting that at this point. If you guys,
Cuff him
Okay.
now. Like, just cuff him now.
Why
I just was
I
telling
mean,
them the exact same thing is that, no warrant for the house or anything like that. As long as,
I'm gonna confirm on the.
as long as you stay calm, we're not going to handcuff you or anything crazy like that. We'll give you an opportunity to call and take care of dogs.
Wow.
It would be
Whatever.
so
We'll
crazy,
figure
right?
all
So
those
crazy to
logistics.
handcuff these people who committed a
Wow.
crime.
Wow. Just as
And
long
these are the
as
same-
you-
These are the
Go
same
ahead.
cops that they will like handcuff, like a 17-year-old for shoplifting from, Sephora or something. But they're not going to handcuff these people who committed a felony. There is a felony warrant. We're not going to handcuff you. That would be a little too extreme. It would be crazy. We don't have to do that.
As long as you remain calm, we're not going to handcuff you. They had Diddy's kids last week in handcuffs. Like Diddy's kids, we're not well, let me not say not involved. They had Diddy's kids in cuffs just for being in the vicinity when the home was being searched. This is absolute insanity. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. I see you guys in supers. We're coming, but we have to keep watching this debauchery.
logistics out to make this as it's inconvenient no matter how you slice it, as least intrusive as we can. So anyway, I'll let Jim talk to you. That you guys might have questions about what this is.
Fine.
Okay. So as Detective Wright, you already spoke to, I think you've been informed that you guys have a couple of arrest warrants issued out of the state of Florida. Okay, so you will be booked today under those arrest warrants. Okay. We are conducting an investigation out of the state of Florida. I'm sure you guys have a couple of questions for us, as we would have a couple of questions for you. If you would want to, we'd be happy to talk to you. If not, you do have the right to an attorney.
Well, what are the warrants for?
What are the warrants for?
But what is the charge?
The charge is it's called A1506 out of the state of Florida. It's unauthorized computer access. Okay, so it's basically a hacking charge out of the state of Florida. It's a computer crime.
A computer crime?
Whose computer?
Wow.
Again, those are details of the case that we'd be happy to discuss if it gets
This
down
is
to that.
insanity.
But it is involving a computer as well as other property. There's a subset of property that has come up.
Okay, we want to thank Morgan and Morgan for
damn it.
sponsoring this body cam video.
Sorry,
I mean, I
guys.
think it's pretty clear from the body.
Lawn
sorry?
crime.
Whose computer are we supposed to?
So basically, it's unauthorized access to an electronic device, right? So,
Who's the electronic device?
well, when you get booked, you talk to the judge. They'll give you a copy of the arrest warrant, and you'll see all the details.
Like they don't know.
So I think
I'm not talking to these guys.
then
I'll talk to
that's
you.
the ultimate answer, right?
Oh
So
my
if you were
God.
talking to them, then they'd probably give you more information.
What? I'm not going to talk to these guys who have the authority to arrest me and who are charging me with the crime that I am definitely complicit in. I'll talk to you since you've given me the option. It's like, rate your arrest experience today with the Dallas
Oh my
Police Department.
gosh.
Were they friendly? Were they kind?
The nerve, the absolute nerve. I'm not talking to Miami police officers. I'm talking to you. This is why they should have executed this arrest warrant together, not separately. This is so bad. This is terrible. If there's any police officers in the chat, if you watch this on replay, I would love your opinion. Love your opinion. This is crazy.
But if you're not, then we just get you booked in and what have you. Okay, so
I'm going to see about a patrolman.
yes, thank you. Oh, I have a phone number for the one.
I'll take care of it.
Okay. Okay. So just be patient. Just have a seat. We're going to have somebody that'll transport you guys. We're going to figure out your shoe situation. Make all that
I'll my
happen.
truck, my phone, and you come in with us to do what we need to do.
That's the idea. And so I don't know that I'll let you drive your truck just under the circumstances. If you would like, I can drive your truck in.
Is that a phone?
May I
Oh,
answer
this
my
is your-
daughter?
This is your phone. No, they are going to be seizing your
It's a
phone. Both of
ringtone?
your phones as part of
I
this.
can't tell her.
And actually, if you want to place
Using our
that in.
phone? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, you already took mine. Didn't you take yours?
No, his is in his trunk, so, but it will be seized as well. Before they run off with your phones, if there's some phone numbers or something
Right,
like your
Kane.
attorney phone number, whatever, we can probably work out getting that. I've got a piece of paper and a pen. We can write those numbers down so you can make that call from the jail. I know it's,
Are there any phone numbers that you do need? So we
Yeah.
can
Yeah, I need
facilitate
the
that.
Yes,
attorney's
we
phone
do.
numbers.
Okay, and they're in here.
And my business
There's
is
a number
my
online
business
I
is
need
phone
to-
up
is
there.
it all right if I get your phones? We get the phone
I
number.
need a number on mine.
You're going to seize it?
We're seizing your phone, so I'm just getting, to get it out of
I
your
didn't
truck.
call
I'm
the
just-
attorney on that phone.
Okay.
Oh my God. This is debauchery. Finally cuffed at the end.
There's a lot of phone numbers I need up there.
I love how they gave themselves away. Like, whose computer?
Exactly. Both of them asked.
All right. Since I'll let you hold the phone and then I'll write down, you can say names or not, or you can write down if you want to borrow my notepad.
Can I
I'll-
not just look at the phone?
I don't think he'll well, that's his decision. If he wants to let you handle it, that's fine.
So what we can do is let you unlock it, and then I'll get the phones for you.
I'm not unlocking the shit for you.
Okay.
Is her phone locked?
Okay.
Is your
Yeah.
phone locked?
Yeah, her phone is locked.
Wow. They just roll over. This is so embarrassing for this police department. This is
I
Dallas?
need to
Yeah.
book Frank's phone number.
That's Miami that
I'm
asked
not
that.
allowed to track.
Oh, okay.
And then we can
He's
figure that out.
snapping at the Miami guys.
Okay, I see.
Mhm.
I have
Still.
no idea. Yeah.
This poor woman sitting out here with just socks
All right,
on.
let's
I feel
talk
so
about
bad for her.
shoes for you, jacket, anything like that. Where would that be? We'll probably let you go in to get it. I'm just asking so I can get to decide, you know,
Well, I'm gonna
risk versus
change
reward.
shoes, and I like to change a shirt.
No, please
I'm
text
gonna
my
leave you
daughter
where
and
you
tell
are.
her
You're
that she
you're
needs to take
sufficient.
care of the
I know it's
dogs.
not great, but it is
Yeah,
sufficient
we're
for.
gonna coordinate that now. We'll facilitate that. You can't text her from this phone right now, okay? But we will
You
facilitate.
have a phone
later
number
on.
for her? Okay.
I'm a fucking hacker. Like your fucking president.
Definitely not. I would not be here, sir. Honestly, that wasn't the case.
Well, I'm leaving this stuff. What do you need from me?
If you just want to take your driver's license, that'll make it the easiest. And then we'll set the rest of it either in your truck or in the house, whatever works best
We
for
need to put
you.
my truck in, lock the house.
I will do that if you don't mind me doing so. I won't search your truck. I will just move it in or whatever. There's nothing. We'll talk more in a minute. I think the only thing that they are going to run warrants on or is the 2 phones. So, and actually, the way it works in the state of Texas is I'll actually end up writing a paper for the 2 phones that allows it to be transferred out of state. But the district attorney's office has already been apprised of all of this and has already said that that's fine. So they actually authorized if we would need to search the house. I did not want that to be the case. Otherwise, we would have just knocked on your door this morning. We wanted to wait till you left because we're trying to avoid making this into bigger than it is.
Oh, you're waiting till I left?
Yeah, we were just waiting for you to leave. Yeah.
Hold on, guys. I just see Self-Righteous is probably jumping in. You are joining me and Chandler Remington as we are watching OnlyFans model Courtney Clenney. Her parents committed a pretty serious crime. They are getting arrested right now, and this is the most pleasant arrest anyone has ever seen in their lives. So we are going to continue. I just wanted to let you know what you were walking into.
Actually, we thought that you left town or left the house around the same time yesterday. So we thought maybe that you'd be leaving again today. Anyway, neither here nor there. It's just a ongoing this problem from the whole, I guess, from even the beginning, all related to your daughter's event, which is, I'm a homicide detective, so I asked a lot of questions about that event, just trying to wrap my head around it or whatever. And, I'm 50-50 at not seeing the crime scene and hearing all the evidence. I don't really know where I stand on that. I know the court of public opinion is out there. And then we've seen, I've been doing this 28 years, so I've seen a lot.
I mean, the defense doesn't say a whole lot.
Yeah.
And now you're convicted in the public opinion.
Yeah.
A lot of people put out crap.
I think this has to do with something that belongs to him. Is the computer or the whatever laptop?
He's helping. He's giving him information.
To that, but it's something that I think her attorneys. I think it's something that her attorneys were kind of working with y'all on.
Her attorneys?
Her attorneys is my guess. I don't
It's
know.
like they're
I don't know
playing
everybody's
charades.
names involved. Yeah. So ultimately, that's just my understanding is that it was something to do with that. There's some device out there that y'all helped access that's not y'all's, and that's what this all stemmed for. Now, it is a felony offense in Florida. It's a misdemeanor here in Texas for the same crime. So that's why we're kind of afforded a little more leniency, whether we don't just slap the cuffs and put you in the car and saying tough luck, right? We certainly are trying to be it's not our case. Matter of fact, I actually spoke with the detectives and I was like, so if this was us, we probably wouldn't be arresting. Maybe we would just come and seize the phones and explain what the situation
was.
But their state attorney is the one that's...
Yeah, she's a fucking cunt.
Is that what the problem is? So...
Excuse the language. They're all correct.
Excuse the language.
I understand your frustration.
that just became evidence. I would use this and try. Oh my God, exactly what he just said. If I was the DA, I would use that clip right there and isolate the noise and make it all loud just so the jury can hear that freaking part right there. And this is crazy. It's crazy, Chandler. I mean,
the entitlement is like nothing I have ever seen. But the worst, I mean, the entitlement is one thing, but the kid gloves that, you know, that this particular detective is treating them with is something else that I've never seen. I'm fascinated. And it feels, somebody said in the chat that it feels like an SNL skit, and I happen to agree. It feels like a parody. This does not feel like real life at all.
You can hear what he just said. He's just like, well, you know, this is it's a felony charge in Florida, but we're in Texas. You know, this is not the panhandle state. It's a misdemeanor here. So that's
we're
why.
So sorry. We're so sorry. We have to do this. Like we wouldn't arrest you guys. They want to arrest you. Oh, it's a bit, you know.
Yeah, but that's why when you have two jurisdictions, instead of working together and treating everybody that's a criminal equally, you could see that the Texans are like, no. I mean, it's a misdemeanor here. A lot of people are conspiring in the chat saying, hey, are these people well connected? Are they in an affluent area? And I know the dad has money. You also have to remember he's holding her $2 million that she last made from OnlyFans.
Right.
So it's a lot, guys, but we're raising awareness. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep going and watch this debauchery.
System's never great.
Self-defense week 1 and 4 weeks.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, if you guys are in the middle of something.
He's venting, which I can appreciate.
I get it. How about I take her inside and get her shoes, and I'm going to have to escort her. Sorry. I mean, it's just,
that's fine. Am I going to be able to go to this bathroom? And no, I guess put this in the bathroom.
It's going to take us a few minutes to go. Anyway, if you just want to have a seat, and then I'll take her in there and let her.
You can stay standing if you'd like. It's not a big deal.
It's going to get in before we can go, so I'm sure we can.
I was going to say, think about dog water, whatever. The bond's only $5,000. Well, when he comes back, then we'll coordinate that. So I can't leave you unattended. I mean, I could handcuff you and put it here, but that sounds. We're trying to wait to the very last moment for that, right? So we don't create more drama for neighbors or anybody else, right? But yes, so there's a $5,000 bond, so it's very low bond. It is a extraditable warrant, meaning if y'all didn't bond out, they would take you to Florida. But $5,000 bond, I would hope that you would be able to, the two of y'all would be able to bond out relatively quickly. It's not gonna solve the whole "this is what's happening" thing, but for what that's worth.
What's your name again?
Ben Wright, and I'm with the Travis County Sheriff's Office. We got our supervisors got contacted by Miami-Dade Police Department saying they had these felony warrants. Detective Helleroot or Deputy Helleroot is actually a member of the United States Marshals Task Force. So I elicited his assistance today versus having patrol cars and everybody else in your close up. Not that this isn't a little weird as it is, but as soon as Deputy Helleroot comes back out here, I'll pull your truck in and that'll look a little less weird.
Am I going to need a credit card or a bank card?
I don't know how that works, I'll be honest. I mean, if you have an attorney, then your attorney would probably handle that for you, like getting your bond and stuff set. But I don't know if you've got a credit card that you might want to just put your, because ultimately, I don't know if you're familiar with the bail and bond system or whatever, but if you put up the let's say for you and your wife, $10,000 worth of bond, and then you show up at whatever court date is assigned, well, you get your money back. If you go through a bail bonds company or whatever, they're going to charge you 10, 15%, and you just never see that money again, right? So it depends on where you are financially. If you have that money, then I would recommend, maybe put it on a credit card or whatever. Ultimately, as you go to court down the road, you'll get that money back. But those are your decisions. If you do want to do that, just think about it. I can have them grab, I can call him right now and just say, hey, grab a credit card to throw in your pocket as well. It doesn't hurt anything to have it. You might need an Uber on the way home. I don't even know what that'll all look like, right?
Is that a fine?
Huh?
Is that a fine?
Well, they'll give you, okay.
I mean,
listen, it's a pain. But,
one bank account to another, but I'm not opening the phone for anybody.
I'm not mad at you
Not
about
that I
that
have
at all.
anything to hide, but I'm just not going to give them the fucking satisfaction. Sorry about the language. But
that's okay. Listen,
it's all insanity. It's all
you have
about-
rights,
it's all
and
about money.
we exercise our rights if it was us in the same boat. So I'm not mad at you at all.
That's
that
reassuring.
woman doesn't
Mm.
shouldn't be going anywhere.
You
This
don't
is how they
want
play
to.
dirty.
You
I'm
don't want a
telling
criminal
you.
thinking that you're mad at them when you're a cop.
I don't get it.
I am so sorry that you guys are going through it. It's stressful enough to have a child in the situation that your daughter's in, and then just to add this on top of it is unfortunate. And I just don't have any control over that.
It's so stressful when your daughter kills somebody.
I appreciate you being here, but see,
Yeah.
It's a trash truck.
that's kind of why I want to pull. And so I know they do come.
Yeah. Well, we'll get that taken care of for you if nothing else. I know. It's just, you may leave whatever you want. I'm fine with that. You know, I'm trying to be as lenient as possible on that. I mean, I don't expect you to be down
I'm
there
gonna
too
skip
long. but
ahead,
yes, I don't know
guys.
if I-
That trash
I
truck is
feel-
loud.
But,
My daughter Courtney Davis all watching, so
yes, my wife, we gave our hand-me-downs to our kids. Very convenient to have. Yeah, I don't know how parents did it back when we were young. I'm only 53, but yeah,
Oh my
not being
God,
able to
that
know
trash
where
truck's-
just take his keys with him.
Sorry, guys, that trash truck is really bothering my ears. And it seems like they were making small talk, talking about hand-me-downs and things. As you can see on the screen, I'm like skimming a little bit. It looks like the police officer from Travis County, Austin. Correction, if I said Dallas, my bad, guys.
I thought it was Dallas too. Yeah.
Yeah, this family is from Austin. So the police officer, as you can see, the Texan police officer is getting in the truck that is owned by Dad and moves the truck into the driveway before the arrest happens. We only have a few more minutes left, so we'll listen to some of the dialogue here. And then as you can see towards the end, they ultimately end up getting booked and arrested. So I'm going to skip ahead a little bit and then we will watch.
I will let you help out in any way possible. This is a
Okay,
deal out of
maybe-
Miami, not us.
Maybe
So we're
can I if I gave you Morgan's phone number, would you call her? Okay.
here. You want to write her phone number
Morgan's
down?
the
I'll give
little
it to him.
sister.
All right.
Take a deep breath. It's okay.
That's her younger daughter.
She's gonna freak out.
Is Morgan your other daughter?
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh, that's my number.
That's okay. Take a deep breath.
Tell her that they said we'll probably be out by the end of the day.
I got a longer arm.
No, she doesn't need to do anything. But if we're not back by like 6, she'll need to come see the dogs.
Okay. Does she have a key in your house?
Do you
What's
want?
that?
Do you want Ron to hold the key?
Morgan has a key.
Okay. All right.
And the code, I can give you the code so if we need to.
Here,
What do you want?
I'll just let him write it down, and I don't need it.
We'll put them in the house.
Okay.
Yeah, that's, I locked your truck up. Windows rolled up. Yes.
That they said we should be out.
Patrol's here.
I say that. Hang on. Did I?
I've got them both.
Oh yeah, the other driver's license is the one. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, gotta look at it.
Well, I'm glad you came home.
Yeah. Well,
Makes me feel a little bit better.
Yeah, just hand it to him. That way, I don't have to worry about it. I don't want to know what your password is.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. All right.
They were waiting for a patrol car, Sylvia.
No, but it can't hurt to have this.
Okay.
But thank you for calling her.
Well, yeah. No, that's all fine.
Put
Okay.
these in the house.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll just set them inside and then lock the
No,
door.
I just had the dogs.
Is there anything else?
No,
Okay.
just need some phone number.
Everything. I know.
I need a Frank.
You haven't done anything? We can look it up. You give me what's your attorney's name?
Well, I guess I can get my phone number. Frank Prieto.
Frank.
But we also have an attorney here in town that Courtney's used.
Think about it and give it to us. Let me know, and we'll see if we can't find you. Ultimately, they have a list of phone numbers down there they can help you with. Like we try to,
I really need Frank's cell phone because he's not going to.
he's not going to know. Is he a criminal attorney?
I can call his office. I can talk to his secretary, Pam. Wish I'd changed shoes.
Yes, Diane, they're involved.
What's the question? So they're going to the Travis County booking facility, which is downtown.
Oh, the one downtown.
Yeah, like right by the courthouse,
Yeah,
12th Street.
Okay.
So, and they have a really, so I'm not going to tell your business, but yes, they should.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'll give you $1.
Well, they say we hacked somebody's computer, so
Yeah, it's,
And it's felony in that Miami,
Yeah.
in Florida, apparently.
think they're out to persecute us.
Maybe.
Well,
Twist our arm. It's probably arm twisting.
that is an understatement.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
right.
It is.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks,
Okay,
Ron.
I'll give her a buzz.
Right.
If there's anything you need to do, I'll talk to Morgan and she can set something up.
Okay.
Whatever.
It's, tell her it's gonna be okay.
Okay.
Tell
I'll
her
do
it's
that.
gonna be okay.
Okay. All right. I'll do that.
It will be an inconvenience, but it will be okay.
Hey, no
Oh,
problem.
Ron, will you also tell her that if Morgan tries to call, or Courtney tries to call her, please answer?
Oh, yes, I will.
Okay.
Yes.
Because they wouldn't let me answer Courtney's call.
Okay, no, I'll go.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
All right. Give each other some hugs
Okay,
and stuff,
all
right? Because once the patrol gets
What's
here
that?
and what have you, so give each other some hugs and stuff and some peer support. You're going to go to the exact same place. You're going to see each other, but they probably won't let y'all speak because they don't let men and women talk in the booking facility for the most part. So I was explaining to him while you were in getting your shoes. It's the whole weird take your picture, get your fingerprint on the
It was gonna be
computer
pretty,
thing.
pretty
I know.
much.
So yeah, give us.
I
like
was
a
on
good-
my way to get brows and lashes done, so I had no makeup on whatsoever.
Oh my God.
Transport together, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, guys, some of you are coming in late. I'm just letting you know these are the OnlyFans model Courtney Clenney. These are her parents. They were involved. If you want to scroll to the beginning of this stream, Chandler and I broke it down. We showed you a legal document that led to this arrest. The parents held on to the victim's laptop and they were actively trying to break into it along with the help of their attorneys. Detectives from Florida came to Texas to arrest them for this crime in Florida, which is a felony charge there, but a misdemeanor in Texas. It's confusing because you have two sets of police officers, two from Texas and two from Florida. They're not working together to execute this arrest. This is a 37-minute arrest as well, right? And this arrest is not normal. So I do want to just say that. That's why it looks very confusing as we're all watching it. Chandler, anything to add there?
I have a lot that I want to say, and I'm trying to decide, do I say it now? Do I say it later?
Yeah,
Wait.
I'm going to skip ahead a little bit.
I have some opinions.
Yeah, because it looks like they're now starting to, the patrol vehicle has arrived, and it looks like they are being filmed while they're in the back of the squad car. So let's just see if we get anything from that. And if nothing comes out of it, then I think we can just go to our commentary because there's a lot to say. But go ahead.
I will say I feel really bad for the mom because she was about to get her lashes and her eyebrows done. And so she's going to get her booking photo with no makeup whatsoever. Unlike her daughter who had full lashes, full makeup, as we saw, a little bit of blood on her face. But I just feel bad for the mom. She didn't get to look pretty for her picture. Anyway, moving on.
This is absolutely absurd. So that's the thing. Usually anyone that is arrested is not really treated this nicely. So that's kind of where the shock is coming from our end. But let's continue because there's just a few minutes left here.
Go ahead and get you guys.
Okay. I'm so sorry. They're going to cuff you guys up. There's no way to avoid that. We're going to try to make that as low key as. Yeah, there's no way to avoid it. That's because that's transport rules. So we've done all we can to. Did he get the right trash can?
Yeah, he knows it.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
I've locked your truck. Yes, I even made it honk to make sure. I rolled your window up as well.
Deputy Weaver, he's going to be Uber.
Mr. Weaver, I've explained that you are going to have to handcuff them up as per policy, so they're prepared for that. And that's it. You'll transport them.
Okay.
Cool. Deputy Heller. Thank you. I appreciate your assistance keeping it low key this morning.
Yeah, no problem.
I know, as low key as we do in law enforcement. I apologize.
Thank you.
Okay.
And I'm going to do this with you for a minute here.
We will.
Y'all have our IDs, right?
Yes, he does.
Are we going to see you again or me?
You probably won't see any of us again. Yeah. If you'll be addressing the courts in Florida regarding this. So,
that's it.
he didn't have Frank's number, and he didn't really have a real solution for that. What do you think? If I give you their office number, okay. So if I Google that, we should be able to get there. Give me 1 second. I'm old.
You don't have any problems with your shoulder?
Get to Google.
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
I go to the chiropractor every week for it.
Okay.
Yep. This is not me, guys. This is their feed.
Guess we lost audio for a second.
That is interesting. Let's.
Their front pocket, whatever pocket you want to put it in, doesn't matter to me.
Okay.
Alrighty.
They got arrested towards the end.
I was surprised they cuffed them.
But I do understand.
Yeah.
I can do
Okay. Okay. Just pop in right there.
my right shoulder's.
Okay, I'll help you as best I can. All right.
No way you can lean on me.
I'm stuck here.
So if you sit this, it's kind of, that's not, I feel like it'd be more comfortable if you try to put your legs up a little bit and just kind of, oh, I see what you're saying. The seatbelt's blocking it. There you go.
You know, could you tell my neighbor that I changed my mind? Maybe tell Morgan not to answer Courtney's call.
Oh, you had time to think about it.
What's wrong? What's it's okay. It's twisted up. Give me just 1 second. I'll fix it for you.
Is this really necessary?
Unfortunately, yes. It's just the way that the policy is.
Sir, would you do me a favor and tell my neighbor I changed my mind? I don't want him to tell Morgan to answer Courtney's call.
You don't want to tell Morgan?
I don't. I asked him to tell Morgan to answer Courtney's calls.
You're good.
Okay.
I don't want him to answer. I don't want her to answer Courtney's calls.
So he called, and then of course it went to voicemail because it's probably a strange number. So I said, why don't you text her and tell her, hey, I'm your parents' neighbor. Please call me.
He knows. She knows who he is.
Okay, good.
But just don't tell her Morgan should not answer Courtney's calls.
Okay, this is gonna be a very short ride. There's no traffic right now, so we'll make it quick.
You sit forward now.
No.
Can you?
All right, guys, few things. We have left the body cam footage. So from one of the very nice arresting officers, Texas-based. And now we are looking at footage from the police car, the squad car itself. I don't know how much we're going to get from this because you can already see like the image quality is really bad. Really quickly, I did want to shout out Legally Live, who is a criminal defense attorney in Austin. Okay. In Austin. She's entered the chat and she also says, this is wild, not a normal arrest at all. That is likely why this video has 2 million views.
Yeah, it didn't seem normal.
It did not. It did not. So let's just get the last few seconds of this. It looks like there's 2 minutes left, and then we'll get into some commentary and some supers. But wow, wow. I mean, wow. I'm still digesting, but wow. Let's get back into that. And again, thank you, Legally Live. That was thank you for weighing in and letting the audience know that it's not a normal thing.
Can I help you over?
We're back. I'm gonna cramp. I'm gonna these people now.
This is some type of arm twisting is what I'm convinced.
This is close.
Is there any way I can grab you?
No, but it's too tight.
God.
It's too tight.
The cuffs are twisted, I guess, guys.
Taking out the phones, taking the phones.
Yeah, they look a little uncomfortable.
Taking the phones.
Thank goodness I didn't get a new one.
Wait, what was that?
Thank goodness I didn't get what?
Taking out the phones, taking the phones.
Yeah.
I read about the new phones.
Thank goodness I didn't get a new one.
Oh, wow.
Odd. An odd state.
Got a cramp in my left shoulder now.
Is there anything I can do?
No, you're cuffed. You can't do anything.
Thirsty too.
Sorry.
This is horse shit.
Mm-hmm.
Is it bad that I'm kind of enjoying this in a Schadenfreude kind of way?
It's so bad.
Not a word.
This is terrible.
Is that the one that you tested about?
Come on, let's go. We're gonna go.
Oh, he's trying to direct traffic now.
Not like volume.
No, it's not. That helps language. That's
All right, guys, that concludes the end of this very complicated. I don't think I've ever seen police footage like that with so many problems in it. And even towards the end, a lot of people don't realize when you are arrested and you're in the squad car, there are absolutely cameras back there. And notice towards the end, they were talking about the phones. That's why I put the caption on so y'all could read it. They said, oh, they have the phones. We're going to have to buy new phones. It's just, I don't know. Where do we want to start, Chandler? You go first.
Let's see. How do I put it? The thought that occurred to me was these are people who have never been held to account for anything in their entire lives. They have never had to take responsibility for any wrongdoing. They have never been made to feel uncomfortable. They have always been given the privilege that their money can buy. It is very clear this is the face of privilege. And they are very unhappy at being held responsible for something that they absolutely did.
Yeah.
As we saw in the, was it the arrest warrant?
Yeah, we put that's purposely why I wanted to show you guys the arrest warrant first. Because like that investigation, it wasn't even just like they didn't have a lot of time. iCloud 1, that warrant was investigated, and like that forensic warrant for them to search the phones for the iCloud accounts happened in February of the year before. And then they didn't get the other one, warrant 2 wasn't granted, and they didn't get the information until November of 2023. So they had pretty much the entire year to compile evidence against all of these people. You know, for Courtney's parents to have that laptop and work with the lawyers to try to break in the laptop, they were doing that for a reason. There was something in there that they needed. It's destruction of evidence if proven.
Exactly.
You know?
And it just, I don't have the right word to describe how they're reacting, and they're saying, you know, they're persecuting us. This is, you know, what did they call it, Izzy?
Twisting their arm, like it's an arm twist, you know?
This is it's a witch hunt or something.
Yeah.
Excuse me, ma'am, sir, there's documented evidence that you're working with attorneys to destroy evidence in your daughter's murder case. And I just love how the cop was like, I'm so sorry for you to be going through this. It must be really hard, especially with what's happening with your daughter. Clearly they know.
Yeah. No, and the parents have been supporting Courtney through this. I mean, of course, it's her daughter, but like it's their daughter. But at the same time, she says she threw the knife from across the room. That's also why I wanted to start this with showing you guys the timeline. Because did Courtney call 911 when Christian was injured? No, she called her mom.
Yeah.
Notice the mom's behavior when she got arrested. Actually, if Courtney calls, I changed my mind. Please don't don't answer the phone if Courtney calls. Why? Because those jail phone calls are probably being recorded.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If the sister talks to Courtney, I think it's the little sister, Morgan.
Yeah.
Wait, no, never mind. We don't know what she's gonna say. It might be incriminating. That might be a problem.
Exactly. So for the mom to still cover it up, you can see, to your point, there are habits that they're always supporting each other in. The dad, you know, when Courtney went to jail, moved the OnlyFans money. That money got moved very quickly. He moved the $2 million. It's sitting, because here's the thing. When she came to her bail hearing, I think it was not this past December, it was this December before that, her bail hearing, bond was denied because they had needed to see where that money was. Dad was holding it for her. They were prepared to make bail if needed. So this case is really crazy, guys. It is one that, you know, if it finally goes to trial this year, I think it's going to be one of those bombshell ones, because she's claiming self-defense, but look at how much the family did to protect her after the fact.
And
So
the attorneys.
crazy. And the attorneys.
These are the same attorneys who somehow found an expert who is willing to testify that no, it's possible forensically that you can throw a knife at somebody from across the room when you're shorter than that person and have that knife land in that person's chest at a downward trajectory of 3 inches. 3 inches.
Yeah.
I'd like to, I mean, I'm impressed that they were able to find an expert who is willing to testify to that. Oh yeah, this is just, like I said, the dream team. These attorneys, the parents, everybody who's supporting her. Courtney's got a lot of support. Good for her.
Wow. It's just, it's wild to me. You know, and I think, you know, we started this conversation with, you know, talking about the LSAT for Chandler and me taking the bar exam soon. But like, this is the work that's out here, guys. You will have attorneys that don't follow things by the book, and you'll also have some crazy clients. Insane. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and read a few supers that we missed, because that was, I don't even know where we left off. I think we might have left off at like Real Talk with Retta. Let's go to Tessie, who says 26 years in education taught me that these young men have learned to deal with toxic women because they dealt with toxic mothers as boys. Oh, okay. Tessie says 26 years in education taught her that these young men have learned to deal with toxic women because they've dealt with toxic mothers as young boys. I mean, it's a good point. It's a good point, Tessie. And I think this is around the time when we were talking about why Christian decided to remain in a relationship with her. And we were just talking about some of the abuse that can happen to men, you know, that sometimes goes unnoticed. So thank you for that comment, Tessie. Going to No, who I believe is now the stream sponsor, Solo. He sends $20. He says, I have to agree with Nay. If they were Black or Latino, SWAT, National Guard, Homeland Security, FBI would be there, and you would have no time to put on a shoe. I mean, that's the other thing that's really shocking about this arrest footage, because, you know, not only were they treated super well by, you know, local police officers, you know, they didn't get cuffed because they didn't want their neighbors to be able to see. They were able to make arrangements for everything, like lock up the house, put the cars away, get the trash out, get the dogs off me, get the dogs fed. Like all of that stuff was able to be arranged right away. And we know that that is not the case for every, you know, person that is arrested and detained. You know, that was just incredible to watch. Any thoughts on that one, Chandler?
I think they clearly have pull in that county financially. I don't know exactly in which ways they're powerful, but it is clear that that family, they have money, they have connections, they run something out there in Austin. I don't know what it is, but there's a reason why they were treated that way. And it has to do with money for sure.
Yeah, and I know that the dad has a financial background. He's in finance. I think he did really well as they grew up. So that could be what it is. Shout out to Dianora, who sends $2, says, this is Austin, Texas, right? The rich Dem controlled. Is it really? Interesting. I wouldn't have expected that. Thank you so much, Dianora. Shout out to Pug Dad, who says, very disturbing. Thank you for the $4.99 super chat. It says, very disturbing on how polite the officer was. I don't care how cooperative they are. They can be cooperative while being handcuffed. That's the thing. You know, Pug, we didn't see the handcuffs come on until the absolute end, you know, of that 37-minute clip, you know, and then it's just really, really sad, you know, just from what I've seen, especially, you know, as a person of color, like I can tell you not everyone is treated that way. It's not okay, you know?
Definitely not.
Yeah.
I mean, just watch body cam footage. I mean, there's tons of it out there. Look at the difference between
Yeah.
the way that certain people are treated versus certain other kinds of people. It is pretty apparent.
Yeah, yeah. And then, even for them to adjust his handcuffs. I've seen people or read stories where your handcuffs are staying on as tight as possible. Like I've seen that. And they adjusted it.
For misdemeanors. I mean, this is a felony.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And then just the way that the police officers from Florida, look at how they were treated. Like that was insane. That was insane. Thank you again, Pug Dad. Shout out to Yoli. Yo, I can't even talk because I'm like that stressed out from watching that.
It's a lot, yeah.
It is. Thank you, Yoli. No comment, no question. Pure love of the game. I really appreciate the super. Thank you so much, Yoli. I always appreciate your support. Very, very nice of you. Thank you so much.
You got so much love, AB. So many super chat. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Yeah, everyone's amazing here. Like this community is just like no other, Shout out to T Kings who says, "I'm sorry, Master. I have to arrest you."
Yeah.
It's a little controversial, but a little crazy. It is. It is.
I can't disagree with that one.
Right? Shout out to Rod who says, "You will pass the bar exam." Brightness, everybody. Brightness. Thank you so much, Rod. I appreciate that. Trying really hard to focus on the next few months and the goals ahead of me. Wishing the same luck for Chandler. I know she is approaching a new journey in her life, attending law school. Such a joy. It's hard, but I know that you're going to be a fantastic lawyer as well. So this is going to be great.
I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
And I know you're going to kill it on the bar exam. That's not even a question.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm excited
Well, listen, guys. Thank you. Well, listen, guys, we have been going for about 2 hours. I need a nap after watching that. Like it just like really, really like bothered me. But Chandler, where can people find you here on YouTube?
Excellent question. Well, you can find me at Remy Legal. You can also type in Chandler Remington on YouTube. I will be making more content soon. I am still going to be focusing on my law school applications and things like that, but I'm going to start up with the women again, and I'm going to be doing more content about ladies like Ms. Courtney Clenney. I might even do a video about Courtney Clenney herself, and you're absolutely welcome to join me.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Chandler. I'm going to just wrap up with my folks here. Thank you so much for joining me. Guys, please check out Chandler's channel. I'm so proud of her for taking the LSAT and joining this legal community, doing well on YouTube. And I'm really, really pumped for your future. Thanks so much for joining, Chandler.
Thanks for having me on. Bye, everybody.
Bye, Chandler. Awesome. Well, listen, guys, I'm going to go ahead and start to wrap this up. I need a headache. I mean, I have a headache. I said I need a headache. I have a headache. That was so disturbing. There's a few Cash Apps that I missed, so I'm going to go ahead and read those and then go to start to wrap up. Shout out to Nono. Nono's actually in for 140. I'm going to go ahead and update that in the banner. No, thank you for being the stream sponsor. If you guys could do me a favor and type no in the chat. He has been here since we started this debauchery stream on Courtney Clenney. But thank you so much, No. I so appreciate you. I mean, you guys could see me running out of gas with this one. Wow. Shout out to Sovereign or Dark Power. Sends $5, says $5 from Dark Power. Thank you so much, Dark Power. I super, super appreciate you for that one. And then lastly, shout out to Retta, Trillions, baby. She sends $20 and says, love you, AV. Listen, I mean, I'm sweating. Watching that was so crazy, guys. But this stuff happens. This stuff happens in the legal space. It happens in the criminal space all the time. All the time. Listen, guys, 2 things before I go. Number 1, check out Chalkboard Candle. This candle has been burning the whole time. It says that was cute. They have made this for me. Check out their website. Every purchase that you make goes back to local teachers. This is a US-based company in Minnesota. They are coconut-based candle wax. It's hand poured. It's ceramic. It's a nice gift for you to give somebody for Mother's Day. So whether you're a woman or a man, I have a 15% off code site-wide from that site. So check out more information in the description box. And then lastly, huge shout out to the lead attorney. I would not be able to do any of this live streaming stuff without everything that I've learned from him over the past 2 years about live streaming. But if you've been on the fence, if you've been fans of ours for a while and you've been thinking about getting his course, I highly, highly, highly recommend it. And I say that because me being able to take time from corporate America and just focus on the bar exam, a huge part of that is because of everything that I learned from Lead in those courses. So if you're thinking about it, I think he still has that Fanny discount code activated, but I have a link in the description box. It's my link. So that means that you're going over there and AV sent you. Please check out his courses. Like, they have been a game changer in my life. And I know for you guys, whatever, you never know when you're going to need to take a break from things, but being able to stream on YouTube, make it a passion, become a content creator, it's so much fun. I'm able to do what I love, which is studying the law in real time and also sharing my knowledge with all of you guys as well. So good stuff. Valhalla, you just missed a bunch of debauchery. I'm wrapping it up. This really threw off my mind today, just watching this. But listen, I hope you guys had a really good time. Huge shout out to Chandler. Please check her out. She is an amazing content creator. I really like the work that she does around men's rights too. So please check her out. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Please stay safe out there. I will see you in the next one, and we will be back this week with all things regarding the Trump case. So I'm sure we will be seeing more of each other. Stay safe out there. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.